Hello, hello, and good evening, guys. Welcome to the virtual summit that we have hosted by the Mighty Dream Team and put together by our founder, Ms. Tracy Walker, along with a lot of extraordinary leaders within the Dream Team to make this summit happen for you guys. Guys, welcome. Thank you for taking time out of your evening to learn more about what your business does and how it can put more money into your pocket. That's what we are super, super excited about. This morning, brother Tyree Thomas Jr., guys, he just came back from a surgery, just had a surgery last week, and we all kept him in our prayers. And normally on Tuesday, he does the motivational calls for us. Nothing was going to stop brother Tyree from getting on that call because something was dropped into his spirit. And he was, I'll tell you this, if you missed the call, go back to the Dream Team website, the group and Facebook, and make sure you listen to that. I mean, just one nugget that I'm going to say, we all have went through things, and we're all going to continue to go through things in life. But what he said, you don't go through anything. You live through something. Man, that short sentence, it just changes your entire mindset. When the world and the universe hits you with issues, because we all are going to face issues. We've all faced issues before in the past, and you know what? As long as we're living, we're going to face some again. But he said, don't go through it. And nobody go through nothing. You live through it. And when you live through it, your mind is looking at it totally different. You're not looking at a problem. When you're living through it, you focus on the solution. And when you focus on the solution, your mind works in a total different realm. It gives you answers that you would never have thought about if you're focusing on the problem. So guys, from this day forward, change that thinking. We don't go through nothing. We live through whatever we go. We live through it. All right. We live through it. So on that note, if you didn't listen to it, go back and hear it because it was so powerful. It was so, and Monday, I think it was a carryover from Monday because Tracy just brought the hammer. She said she just closed her mind and opened her mouth and let the spirit just come through it, and it was just powerful. So that train gonna ride through the whole week. Do not miss a day, Monday through Friday at 12 noon Eastern, 11 Central, and then going back, you can take the hours. I couldn't give you all the hours just right off the top of my head, but it's 12 noon Central, 12 noon Eastern, I'm sorry. So make sure that you get on the phone, you get on the website, because there's a link available as well if you can't get through on the phone, and share it with others people, because this midday motivational cup of coffee is just that. You know, you get perked up with motivation. It takes you through the rest of the day. So make sure you get on that motivational call. Now on to the summit. Guys, over the past few days, we learned a lot. And if you agree that you learned a lot, either drop a 1 down in the chat or raise your hand so I can see you if you learned to offer a lot of value. And guess what? It's not over. It's not over. It's far from over. Over the past few days, we learned from Jamie. Jamie, he explained the snapback method. You know, first we heard about it, but he broke it down and he made it very, very clear what the snapback method was and how it can work for us when we're looking at charts. Then yesterday we had the Forex Wizard, and he covered the fundamentals of risk management. He helped us create a trading plan and also charting, and he did the charting using the TradingView platform. So if any of you are familiar, tradingview.com, that's the platform that he used to show the charting. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, tonight I have the pleasure of presenting to some and introducing to others a young man. This guy, he's a successful entrepreneur. He's a Forex trader. Not only is he a Forex trader, he's a crypto trader. Not only is he a Forex and a crypto trader, he's also an educator. He gonna bring it to you tonight. And he's a business coach. Tonight he's gonna be a little bit more on the technical side a little bit. He's gonna revisit the snapback method. And then he got something very, very, very special for you guys. So make sure you got your journals. Make sure you got your writing utensils close at hand because he is about to bring it. So without any further ado, Brother Curtis, KoBane Branch. Are you there, brother?
I can't I just can't do it today. You guys are so fun, man. I swear, I miss my dream team family so much. You guys gonna have me watery eyed over here. I swear, I talk about you guys so much, like we just distant relatives. I'm like, man, I can't wait to go to Vegas. I get to see Judy in person. I get to see Tracy. I get to see my boy Tino. Like, I'm so amped up for the next few weeks. But honestly, guys, I've sorely missed you all so much. I can't wait to get into this session with you guys as well. Like Tracy been like, listen, all you got to do, I'm like, listen, you know, it's game time once I'm with y'all. It's game time. We can be on here at 12 o'clock in the morning. I'm still going to be talking like so. And then after that, we're going to, yeah. So I'm not going to take up too much of the time, guys. I just want to make sure I got the screen share with me. I can go ahead and get everything going. Let's see what we got. Because I know me. Y'all know once y'all let me talk, I'm going to talk. I want to make sure I cover everything we can. All right, sweet. Alrighty. Okay. Now I'm gonna move this over for a second. I got so many screens now, guys. I done upgraded my trading my trading little area. So I got like a screen here, the main screen in the middle. So I'm like, if you see me looking around, just know I got a whole command. So I'm like in the back cave right now. That's why it's dark in the background. I got like a little ambience light in the back to kind of keep me awake too. All right, so today I wanted to cover a couple of things with you guys and go over the snapback strategy. And just before we get started, I want to tell you guys I am so proud of everybody here. Like, you guys have been diving in deep with all the different strategies that's been coming out with Luke Longmire's information, the crypto information. Like, you guys came into this year with the ground hitting the ground running. You guys is like, nah, so all I see is just train smoke from the dream team moving. Like, y'all have not missed a beat right now. I'm just watching the trail of y'all just winning all the way through. I'm on Facebook like, man, Tino going crazy. Okay, Judy posting. Man, we got Ray over here going in. Oh man, it's lit over there. I gotta come holler at the family. So I just want to tell you guys I am so proud of you all. I am so happy for everybody just going in hard this year, not missing a beat, coming right in from 2017 into 18, both tailpipe smoking, just moving. So I wanted to get into the snapback strategy now. I know you guys had a little bit of it covered in the last session, but I want to kind of get into it and go over just a little bit more, just to rehash and give you guys a little more insight on it. So first things first with the snapback strategy is this. It works on multiple platforms. You can use it on crypto. You can use it on Forex. You can use it in, options if you want to trade that. It does not matter. Snapback is basically, it's so beautiful because it's not dependent on news and different fundamental aspects and different institutional aspects with the banks and the hedge funds and things like that. The snapback strategy really depends on raw organic pricing, where the market has an imbalance inside of it, and the actual divergence that we're looking for is going to correct that imbalance that we see. Okay, so there's a lot going on when you see divergence or you spot divergence in the market. So one of the things I wanted to do was give you guys an actual insight on the settings that he uses as well with the strategy. So in the beginning, when you start up looking for your starting up the settings with the indicators that we're using, we're going to use Bollinger Bands. If you don't know what Bollinger Bands are, if you're brand new, you just getting involved, first time seeing this, these right here, these lines you see near the candlesticks are Bollinger Bands, okay? Now, Bollinger Bands dictate volatility. This is a very hard thing to explain to people in the beginning, because they're like, wait, how do I know when the market's going to be volatile? These little squiggly lines are going to tell me when the market's volatile? Yes, they do. Yes, they will. Yes, they can. Now, these lines, you see the top Bollinger Band and the bottom Bollinger Band, are deviations of this middle line you see here. This middle line is simply just a moving average. Not even playing with y'all. That's 100% honest. That middle line is a simple moving average. Now, what happens is a lot of people get confused and they hear the word deviation, like, all right, Kurt, you going into some other stuff. You using big words on me. It's my first day. All you need to know is that deviations are just showing you that when this line has a certain amount of data that it's actually calculating, there are deviations within the market that this line can't pick up, because it's picking up is an average of what's happening where the opens and close of each candle was taking place. This line is monitoring that. But inside of that information, there are deviations, positive and negative. And this top line is monitoring the positive deviation. This bottom line is monitoring the negative deviation. So you'll see them start to move apart, come together, different things of that nature. So when you see something like this, where the market is just going sideways, like we see candles ranging, not really trending at all, and you'll see the moving average start to flatten out, there's not a lot of deviation because the market is at a rest period. It's not calculating a lot of data that shows a lot of volatility in the market. So to simplify that, maybe that can help you guys understand why the Bollinger Bands do what they do. Because in the beginning, I had people ask me all kind of questions, and I was like, I got to get back to you. So I had to do some homework on deviations, guys. So I got that for you. Now, when you see this movement here, right, we have Bollinger Band starting to pinch in closer and closer and closer. This is a sign that volatility is on the way. I want you guys to always look out for that when you see that Bollinger Band pinch that we call it. It's like a bottleneck. When you see something of this nature, this is where a lot of my students now say, I love consolidation because I know something big is on the way. So just make sure that you're being patient and you're letting the market come to you, right? So right now we're letting the market pinch in close. We've had a lot of consolidation in this area here. And now all of a sudden you start to see big openings from the Bollinger Bands, right? And now we're starting to see a little bit of movement to the upside with our candles. This is where the Bollinger Bands show us volatility, where when we see the openings like this, like even when the market is moving up, if you look at that bottom Bollinger Band and you see it start to bend away from the candles, that is a great sign for volatility moving to the upside. Same exact thing if the market was moving down and you started to see the actual top Bollinger Band start to bend away from the candles, that is a great sign for volatility to the downside, okay? So make sure you keep that in mind. Now, the Bollinger Bands are only part of the strategy, okay? Because in Forex, there's an equation that a lot of people don't know about that Forex is dictated off of. Forex is just an equation of three things. It's volatility, volume, and momentum. That's it. Really, really simple. Now, Bollinger Bands give us volatility, which is very hard to dictate because when you're just looking at a candlestick chart, you're like, I don't know what's happening. I know something's going to happen at some point, but I don't know when it is. Bollinger Bands give us a little bit of a heads up and an inkling of, okay, maybe we should start paying a little more attention because these Bollinger Bands are starting to act a little goofy and they're widening and they're pinching in. So I need to start paying attention and maybe I can find an entry point inside of these movements. So volatility, Bollinger Bands, that's just step one. Step two is the RSI. You have to understand what the RSI is so you can truly use it the way it's built to be used. Now, the RSI stands for Relative Strength Index. Now, that the key word in this whole equation is relative strength index. Okay? Do not, I repeat, do not blindly follow the RSI, but the RSI can put you in a very advantageous position if you understand how to read it. Now, remember I told you guys Forex is just an equation of three things: volatility, volume, and momentum. The RSI gives us momentum. But the RSI gives us momentum in such a way where this one indicator can show you so much, okay? So RSI basically shows us an area of overbought, meaning this area here where you see between 75 and 68 shows us where the overbought area begins around the 68 zone. And then down here around 32 and 25 shows us the area where the oversold area is. Now, I really want to stress this too, because a lot of people believe once the market gets into this area, it can't go any higher. Once it gets into this area, it can't go any lower. This is where I'm going to dispel a few little mysteries right now. There is no such thing as overbought and oversold. This market can run as long as it wants to, up or down, buy or sell. It does not matter. I've been in trades in my infancy when I first started trading, and I would see something go into the overbought. I'm like, oh, it's gotta come down. Sell, and then this bad boy just takes off on me. Okay, and it bounced over here. Oh, it's touched the overbought line. It's coming down. Sell, and it bounced over here and goes higher again. I'm like, come on. Okay, guys. So just understand that the RSI is giving you a relative strength index of what's happening. It's not an end all be all, but it can give you a suggestion on what the strength of the market is doing, okay? And it's very helpful because with the Bollinger Bands in conjunction with the RSI, we can make a lot of smart decisions on entry points. And I know everybody in the chat is always saying entry points is the main thing we want to perfect at all times, no matter what we're doing. So right now, RSI, these settings that we have, now this is actually a little off. I'm gonna have to fix this one right quick because the default setting is 14. But for the snapback strategy, we like to use 13. Okay. And I'm gonna give you guys the full settings as well. Now we've gone over with the Bollinger Bands do. We've gone over what the RSI is with the overbought area and the oversold area. This 50 line is a median where price wants to continue to rest here. But what I've noticed is if you wait for the RSI to cross the 50, this area shows buying momentum above here. And if you wait for the RSI to break below the 50, this area shows selling momentum here. All right. Now, RSI and different settings with the buy and sell momentum and things of that nature, we can get into that later. And we have other videos inside of the Dream Team website you can get into. And we break down all of this with, 50 moving averages and things like that. So the RSI can speak to you the way it needs to speak to you. So to get everything all tied together with a nice bow around it, we're on a 15-minute time frame, okay? And this is where I like to use the snapback strategy the most, because the 15-minute time frame with the snapback strategy can put you in a position where you can catch the very beginning of a trend, and then on that hour and 4-hour time frame, we're at the very bottom of that move, and now we can ride it all the way to its fruition and exit at the very end of that move, okay? So here's an example of an actual snapback entry where this one is a little weak, but I'm going to give you a stronger one in the past as well. So this move here, right, we had an area where the candles were moving downward and one closed outside of our bottom Bollinger Band, okay? That is the first heads up when you're looking for a snapback strategy entry, okay? You need to have a candle close above or below your Bollinger Bands. All right, so the first sign was this candle closed outside of our Bollinger Band. The second thing is we want to see that these RSI line, the actual moving period line that we have here, needs to peak into the 32 area here. All right, that's rule number one, sign number one. If we don't have that, it is not a strong entry for the snapback strategy. All right, now you see this one did not peak in. Same thing here. We needed to see a candle close out, but we had the market move up and then back down. You need to see another candle close outside of the Bollinger Bands, and also another entry of our area between the 32 and the 25. We did not get that here, but I want to show you guys what I mean when I talk about the divergence in the market. Okay, so I'm going to pull out my trend line here. I'm going to show you guys we have a low and a lower low here. Okay, low, lower low here. Now on the RSI, we have a low and a higher low here. This shows the divergence in the market, because if we have a low and a higher low, it shows that the market is doing what? The market is actually strengthening, going higher, okay? So keep that in mind when you're looking at the RSI. It's going to give you an idea of the strength of the market. Now, the actual candles can lie to you. This is where it gets a little crazy for new people, because they say, well, how can the actual candles be going lower, but the RSI is getting higher? Because the RSI is showing the relative strength in these two pairs. Now it's showing that the actual CAD is weakening and the Great Britain pound is strengthening due to the actual pull of the lows that we see here on the RSI. We have a low, higher low, and now it's moving higher, moves above our 50. Test goes higher right here. We have a low, lower low, and I would push us higher. Now, the first thing you want to do for an entry point inside of the snapback strategy is, once we get a close outside of this Bollinger Band, you want to actually enter for your buy. Now, like I said, this one wasn't a very strong one, so I'm going to go back to the past, and I'm going to show you guys an actual very good look of a snapback. Here we are right here. This one is perfect, okay? Now, right here, we had multiple candles, right? Closing outside, closing outside. This one here even opened outside, moved up, never closed back inside. Right here, closed outside as well. Beautiful, right? Awesome. Now we have the market moving back into the Bollinger Bands. That's exactly what we want to see. We want to see a close outside and then a strong move back into the Bollinger Bands, all right? Step one is complete. Step two looks good. Close outside, strong move back in, okay? And now step three is we're waiting to see that close outside of the Bollinger Bands again, okay? To the downside. No close outside yet. No close outside yet. Close here. And then right here, we had our close outside of the Bollinger Bands right here. Now we go back and we're going to look at our settings, okay? We have a close out here. Awesome. It's where we wanted to be inside of our oversold area. Moved back in. And then we had another close outside of the Bollinger Band here. Awesome. It moved outside of our oversold area here. And now this is where you're going to start looking for that divergence I was telling you guys about, where there's an imbalance in the market and it wants to correct itself. And that's why they call this the snapback, because that imbalance forces the market to pull back into the actual median area and then push higher. So now we had our 1, 2, pull out our trend line, go here to here. We have a low leading to a lower low. And now we'll pull out our trend line for the RSI. We have a low leading to a higher low here. And now we can see our entry area here, where this would be our first entry for a buy right here. The moment this candle closed outside of our Bollinger Band and all the stipulations have been met, where we have a low, higher low, low, lower low, showing that imbalance, that divergence in the market, we would enter for our buy right here. Okay. Now, some of you guys may be wondering, okay, Curtis, if I get in for the buy, where do I get out? How do I know when to exit this trade? Okay, now the typical method that we use is the moment you enter for the buy here, you would exit right here at this middle Bollinger Band. Right when it hits this line, this is where you would close out your trade, or you would close out once the RSI hits the 50 line here. Okay, now this is where I differ. Okay, typically we will close out here. What I like to do, and this is where I found where I've tested this method many times, you know, I got to put my sauce on it. If I see a candle close on the other side of the Bollinger Band, I typically stay in until it hits the top Bollinger Band. This is my method. This is how I trade the snapback strategy. Now, if I see it close like directly on, if I get a wick and it closes here and it's closed out a little bit below the middle Bollinger Band line, then I'll just get out. But if I'm sitting here and I'm waiting for this candle to finally finish out and close, then I'll close out right. If this candle closes on the other side of the Bollinger Band, I'll wait it out and I'll close my entry right about here. This is where I'll exit. And I know a lot of people say, well, it went on to, you know, infinity and beyond and all that good stuff. Yes, it did. It phenomenally moved up and great, all of that. But we're here to make consistent profits, okay? We're not here to hit the home run every single time. And I know a lot of people, they get into this mode of, well, I want to post on Facebook. I want my profits to look like, you know, gold so I can get all my friends and family signed up. This is where I have to go ahead and give you guys a little bit of advice. Comparison is the thief of progress. If you're consistently trying to compare your profits to the next person, and you see, you know, Luke Longmire's profits, and then you see, you know, Gustavo posting profits, and now you're looking at Justin Adams' page and you see him posting profits, you're like, man, I got to get my profit game up. I got to start posting more. Do not get into that mind frame of you need to show everybody what you're doing in order to get them involved with IML. Okay, because what we have here is gold, regardless of how much money you're making per trade. Okay. This is something that it should be in every household, in my opinion. This is something where you can go anywhere on the planet, have the internet, and you're a value. I've walked into rooms where I'm sitting with doctors and lawyers and judges, and I have value to bring to these people. Okay, guys, like this is something where literally game changer information. Only difference between a wealthy person and a poor person is information and the ability to apply it. You can have all the information in the world, never apply it, doesn't make a difference, right? Most valuable place on the planet is the graveyard. Full of regret. People didn't act on different ideas, different inventions. We're in a place right now where it's never been easier to become wealthy. And when I say easy, I don't mean you just press a button and you become wealthy. I mean, if you apply yourself and gain skill sets that are valuable in the marketplace, people will come for you. You are in demand instantly. Okay? So if you have a doubt in your mind or you feel some kind of way, I'm going to tell you guys what one of my millionaire friends told me. He said, before I became a millionaire, the first thing I went through was I put my whole, you know, career on the line. I took all my money, I built my company, and I put all my finances on the line so I could build my company. And I said, well, man, that's kind of scary. He was like, yes, but the thing was, I was in a position where I was excited and scared at the same time. That feeling that you have when you're excited and scared at the same time is the universe telling you to keep going, because your brain is designed to pull you away from anything foreign, anything that may be dangerous, anything that may be scary. If it's foreign, your brain says, whoa, 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 whoa. And it's not your fault. It's just designed to do that. So the excitement of your spirit telling you to move forward, experience, grow, learn, but your brain is saying, no, we could get hurt. No, this could go bad. It's the excitement and the scary part, the fight or flight, right? He said, if you're excited and scared about something new, go hard as you can in learning and applying it, because your brain is trying to pull you away from something that you need to do. And I was so amazed with that, because when I got an IML, I was excited and scared at the same time. Like, man, I can learn all of this stuff. I can make all of this money. And the moment I made a bunch of money, I said, wow, I want to help people now, because I know other people can use this. All right, guys. So back to the strategy. I want to make sure we get the settings right. Okay. Now, the settings for the RSI for the actual snapback strategy are, the period for the RSI is 13. I'm actually go to the property so you guys can see this. The period is 13. Okay. And the levels for the RSI are as follows: 75, 68, 50, 32, and 25. Okay. I'm actually going to change the color of these as well so you guys can see a little bit better. Purple stands out. There we go. Okay. And the settings for the Bollinger Bands are, they're just the default settings. I've changed mine up because I use Bollinger Bands for different strategies. But once you just put the Bollinger Bands on your actual chart, it'll automatically just load up and it's fine. It's not like it's anything extra you have to change up. Okay. So we've gotten the settings in order. We've gotten the actual strategy in order. Now, this is where a lot of guys get confused, or a lot of women, people in general get confused. The time frames of when to look for the setups, okay? This is very, very, very important. If you guys are trading, and we're all on different time frames, so I know it's hard to kind of gauge the time frames that I'm using. So I'm gonna go off Eastern Standard Time, because this is where I'm at, Michigan. So the time frames of the time you should be trading are London session and New York session for snapback strategy. I'm trying to give you guys the most profitable times to use this. If you're trading this after 3:30, 4:30-ish, you just got off of work, you got the kids from school, you in the car looking for a snapback entry, do not do this. Please take my word on this. Like, you will be sitting there all day, irritated, trying to find a snapback entry, and the market's just doing one of these moves. Like, it's just crawling on you, right? It just instantly goes sideways. You're in a 15-minute time frame, and you got nothing but consolidation, right? And you're trying to find, oversold and overbought areas to get into for entries. Don't do it. Wait it out. Wait for the market to get into position around the London session and the New York session. So around 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, for those who are, up at that time. Judy, I'm so jealous because you have the London session started like 4 o'clock in the afternoon for you because you're in Australia. And for everybody else that's in America, we got to deal with it. So around 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. New York session is around 7, 8 o'clock for us, in Eastern Standard Time. So in the AM. So those times a day, this is when that strategy is moving. It's the entry points are all over the place. You can find your pairs that you love to trade. I typically use the snapback strategy on GBP pairs. One, because the GBP pairs have a larger ATR. ATR just stands for average true range, meaning inside of these candles is a large amount of pips. I'll give you guys a prime example. We're in a 15-minute time frame. This candle here, just up to down, no wick included. This is 25 pips just inside of this candle on a 15-minute time frame. Okay. If we looked at this candle here, this large candle here on a 15-minute from bottom open to close, 50 pips, right? 50 pip candle on a 15-minute time frame, right? So I tend to like to trade these pairs, anything with GBP except for Euro GBP, but anything with GBP in the lead, I'll use these pairs to trade the snapback strategy around those times a day. Okay. These are the times where you're going to get the most bang for your buck if you're putting in all that effort from analyzing the market. All right. Now, one other thing I want to show you guys is using trend lines to help you out when you're looking for entry points and things of that nature. Okay. Because I know sometimes people get confused on how to draw trend lines out, or it gets a little daunting, to kind of, understand that trend lines can benefit you in the long run. Okay. So I'm going to scroll out a little bit. And let's see where we are right quick. Okay. All right, sweet. So I'm gonna show you guys one of the like right here. This is pretty cool right here. Scroll up, all the way back to the wrong side. Sorry guys, I'm doing too much. I'm moving around, trying to find my area where we can do some work. Here we go. All right, zoom in a little bit on this area here. All right, sweet. Now, what I like to do a lot of times with trend lines is the rule that I was taught, and it works for me like gangbusters, is when you're drawing your trend lines, you want to find a relative high or a relative low before you start drawing your trend lines out. Now, relative high just means for your most recent area, so we're going to use this area here. Inside of this general vicinity here, this was my relative high right here. And what you do is, the rule that I've been taught is 1, 2, go right through. Okay? You want to find wick to wick and then go right through. That's what we do. All right, guys? So I would go here to here and then go right through. Literally, that's how I do it. No exaggeration. And I'm waiting to see what the market's going to give me from here. So I'm looking at the market saying, okay, if I'm going here and I'm going here, I want to see if I'm going to get some strong movement here. And then once I start seeing moves like this where it broke through, but it didn't trend through, where if it broke through here and I didn't see a strong move to the upside, this is where you start looking at your trend line saying, I need more data. And I drew this out here on purpose to show you guys this is where trend lines become broken for some people. They'll draw a trend line out going wick to wick, and then they'll see the market do this straight sideways. And like, Kurt, I drew my trend line out and it didn't really help me. I thought I was going to get in for a buy and it went sideways. Great. At that point, this is where you know you need more data. Okay? This isn't anything wrong with your trend line. You drew it out perfectly. But the market is simply consolidating. We take what the market gives us, but if we don't have a strong entry, we won't take it. All right? This is where being patient and understanding that the market is going to do what it's going to do, but you have to make an educated decision based on that. Now, inside of here, this move happened. Market came out. We never had a retouch of this area at all. It came close. Nothing happened. It came close. Moved away. Nothing. No strong movements, right? We never had a full touch here. We never had an area for a snapback entry. Nothing. This is where I tell people, I don't make a lot of trades. I am very profitable in what I do, but I wait for the most profitable setups. I'm not in a race. I'm not trying to impress anybody. This is my account. I'll trade it the way I see fit, and I want all you guys to do the same. So, meaning you need more information when this move is happening and it's just going sideways and you can't find any entry point. It's not retesting. We can't get an entry because the deal with trend lines is this. If we see a break of our trend line, we want to see an aggressive break of our trend line. We want to see strong movements, engulfing candles, and then we want to see a retest of a level. Okay? If no retest, no entry. Period. This is key to trend line trading. Okay? You never just take the first move out of the trend line. That's the quickest way to blow your account. Okay? If you see a large candle shoot past your trend line, and all of a sudden you say, oh, that's the one I've been waiting on, and you take it for a buy, right? And all of a sudden, just almost as large as that one, you have an engulfing to the downside. That's called a false breakout or a fake breakout. That can come right back, eat you all up, put you in the negative, close you out, and now you have a loss because you weren't exercising patience. Okay? This game is all about the patient people taking money from the impatient people. If you don't know, now you know. Forex is all about impatient people who can't control their emotions, who can't understand that the market's going to move and oscillate and vacillate. But the people who are patient say, you know what? I'm going to let all this movement happen, and I'm just going to readjust my entries. So if I have a trend line going here, I'm going to move my trend line here now and see if I find anything that may be aggressive for me, right? So now you have a trend line moving here. Now what happens? Price is respecting your trend line. Ooh, a retest of the trend line, right? And all of a sudden you have a breakout and engulfing here. And then what happens? Price came right back, retested, and then what happened with the retest? Breakthrough. Okay? This is where it gets a little difficult for some people to say, well, Kurt, this was a retest here too. Yes, it definitely was. But we're not looking to get into a trade right off of this move here. And I'm going to give you guys a prompt. Let me zoom in and show you guys why you wouldn't take that. Right here, when this candle broke out here and we had this candle here, this candle scares the heebie-jeebies out of me. This shows exhaustion to the downside, okay? This is where you have to have an understanding of what's happening in the market. These moves like this large doji or pin bar, showing that there was buying pressure coming up, and all of a sudden selling pressure came roaring back in and pushed price down back to this level. And at that moment, I'm telling myself, do I want to take a buy here, or do I want to be more patient to wait for an engulfing candle? I want you guys to truly understand the power of engulfing candles, because I'm going to show you guys something inside of these trend lines with engulfing candles that can save you a lot of headache. Now, I never got an engulfing I got one engulfing to the upside, and it came back down and retested this area, but I saw this large pin bar that put me on notice that this could be a idea for selling pressure to continue in the market. And sure enough, came down, a little bit of growth here. I don't see enough movement for me to say I'm excited for a buy, and none at all. And all of a sudden, downtrend, boom, big engulf. And this is what I want to see. These are the big moves we're looking for when we draw our trend lines out, guys. And then once you get that engulfing to the downside, now you have retest, and now more drop off, okay? Large engulfing to the downside again. And right, once again, trend line moving. What do we have breaking our trend line again? Engulfing candle. These are the moves when you're near your trend lines, when you're near your supply and demand zones, when you're near your support and resistance zones. When you're drawing out these lines, you want to find these kind of moves, because these are the moves where the banks are showing their hand, okay? The banks want to show large moves to say, okay, we're putting a lot of buying pressure in the market. Now because think about it, we can't move the market this way, right? This is trillions of dollars in here, guys. We can't make a big candle. All of us on this chat and everybody in IML can all get in at the same time, and we would not make a candle this large in the market, guys. It doesn't happen. These are banks. So when you see the banks moving, big move like this, even just a large move to the downside, large move to the upside, breaking your trend line, because this shows structure, right? This line here shows structure. Respecting, little move to the upside, big move to the downside. Structure is being respected still, right? Now we have a drop off, and then all of a sudden, structure is broken here. Okay, so that alone, guys, can put you in a very advantageous position. Now I'm going to go back, and I'm going to show you guys one more strategy as well with trend lines that a lot of people don't use, but I tend to use it a lot, and it helps me out. I'm going to make this a little smaller. Now, what I like to do, I'm actually going to move the Bollinger Bands for this as well, just to show you guys how powerful this is. Right here is a small head and shoulders right here. We have a shoulder, head, shoulder, small shoulder here, right? What I like to do is I'll draw an actual trend line through the head and shoulders pattern. We call it cutting the head off, because when you cut the head off the head and shoulders pattern, you're getting that structure in the market where a lot of people don't see it. So I'll go from here, cut the head off, straight to this shoulder here. And honestly, guys, it did all our work for us, right? Look at this move. Caught everything. Structure, 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 structure. And then we'll go into the future. Boom. Structure, guys. Right here. That breakout rested on our trend line, took off. We can go further into the future still, guys. I don't even know if it'll come back down to that level. No, it won't. It took off. But that right there, this gave us everything we needed just from this move back here, guys. When you find head and shoulder patterns, if you just cut the head off, connect shoulder to shoulder, you will find so much structure in the market. And then when you look for your engulfing patterns like this here, boom, big candles to the upside, and all of a sudden we have respecting of that structure we found in the past from simply cutting the head off the head and shoulders pattern. And I can use this on any time frame. I'll give you guys another example of this trend line strategy of cutting the head off on a 4-hour time frame, right? Let's see. Let's find a head and shoulder. And honestly, I'll make it easier for you guys as well too. I'll try to find one that's a little simpler. This here is good too. This will work as well. And if you have problems finding head and shoulder patterns, I like to tell new people that you can change it from candlesticks to line chart. I'll give you guys an example. Right now, this is candlestick. You can see shoulder, head, small shoulder here. We can go to line. Much easier to see now, right? Peak, peak, peak. And I thought I saw Tracy just put up the hand like, wait a minute. She just took off. Okay, so we're going to go from shoulder to shoulder, just using the line chart, right? Okay, and now go back to candlesticks. Now what do we got, guys? Clear as day, right? All this has already happened, right? We want to find out if we're right here, what's coming up in the future. So we had a break off, look, respected structure. Oh, look what happened. Engulfing candle. Broke our structure, And now what do we get? Retest of structure again. Boom. Another engulfing candle to the upside. Price took off. Okay, guys. This has been like gangbusters for me and my team. Okay, simply finding those head and shoulder patterns, and you can find them in the past, right? And just use that information in the future, and it works on multiple time frames. No, it doesn't even matter. Now, let's see. We can go to another line chart here, right? We can't find anything that looks like a strong head and shoulder. Maybe this here could be considered a head and shoulder, right? We got a shoulder, inverted head and shoulder. We have a shoulder, head area, maybe another shoulder here. Let's just draw one out for argument's sake and see what we get, guys. Here, here to here, right? Go back to our candlesticks. Now what do we got? Structure, respecting structure, right? Moving higher. This whole time, we could have used this as an indicator to show us that structure is being respected and find another engulfing candle here. Boom, we got an engulfing straight to the upside. What happened? Price is going higher even still. Okay, guys, that head and shoulders trend line strategy can save you a lot of trouble. All right, any time frame, any time frame. And if you have trouble, just switch from candlesticks to line chart and try to find those shoulders, heads, shoulders going forward. This is more of just a downtrending market. Oh, Stevenson Lindor session, guys. You know, I got to keep everything on schedule. So this here was just structure, right? We can draw a trend line from here, right? Just go back to the actual candles. Go wick to wick, 1, 2, go right through. 1, 2, go right through. And after that, now we have structure happening, right? This area here was our crossover where something had to happen. And literally right at this moment where this area was, what do we get? Candles breaking structure, moving higher. Candles respecting structure, moving higher. Trend lines can save you a lot of trouble in the market, guys. And then if I put the Bollinger Bands back on, let's actually put that, actually I'll just drag and drop it. Bollinger Bands, there we go. All right, now we have much more information that we can make an educated decision off of, okay? So for me, I like to keep things really, really simple. So I'll look for certain moves within the market, but I want to make sure that I'm taking the best possible setup for my account. So right here, I had a close outside of the Bollinger Bands. This was close, but structure kept it from breaking lower, right? Like it hit this area and broke below, and then wanted to keep moving higher, and finally broke through with an engulfing here. Okay, so we didn't have any snapback entries within this area here, but we're just using what we have to give us an understanding of how far the market can possibly move using the Bollinger Bands, right? Bollinger Bands like to tell us where if the market comes down to the bottom Bollinger Band, it tends to like to stop here and get back near the median area of our moving average. Okay, and then having these lines of structure with trend lines gives us a better understanding. We can do this on any pair, guys. I can go to let's just try like Euro NZD, right? I'll put a plain Jane chart, nothing fancy, and we'll look for, I actually remove everything off the chart. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys how simple it is just to draw trend lines out and find strong entry points. Okay, let's delete that. Now let's go to our line chart, try to find a head and shoulder somewhere if we can. Actually, just make it smaller too. It's easier when you like pull out of the chart a little bit. It's 30 minutes, go to 4 hour. Much better on 4 hour. Okay, this one is a slight head and shoulders, but it's not really balanced like I would like it to be. This is a small inverted. We can use this here, right? We had a shoulder, head, shoulder here, and our trend line, shoulder to shoulder, cut the head off, go back to our candlesticks, zoom in. Okay, zoom out a little bit. Okay, and now what happened? We went shoulder, cut the head off, shoulder, and now we have what? Structure, respecting structure, structure, right? And we had a break of structure here, and then it kept retesting, and then finally, boom, engulfing candle here to the downside. Engulf this candle, and this candle here, right? And I'm gonna show you guys a trick with engulfing candles. I know I'm going through a lot of different tips and tricks right now, so just bear with me. Y'all know me. I get to talking to y'all. Let me. So when you find engulfing candles, right? The thing is, the more candles that it engulfs, the stronger the actual downtrend will be. Okay, so or uptrend will be. It doesn't matter. It just has you just have to make sure that it's engulfing one, two, or three more candles. So right here, this one candle engulfed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, typically a lot of these candles got engulfed just by this candle. So what you want to do is you want to draw a zone from, let's say, about this area here to this area here. Okay, this general vicinity here shows how many candles this candle engulfed. I don't even want to, that's too messy. Let's make it a little more cleaner. Let's just keep these candles here. All right, these three. Okay, top of this wick, bottom of this wick, here. These three are enough. All right, we're not going to do too much extra. Now, this alone will give you an area. Now, what I like to do to help you guys with understanding how strong this could be, I'm actually going to remove, I'm going to leave that there for now. What you want to do is when you draw this out and you find how many candles it's engulfed, you want to look left and you want to find structure inside of this zone in the past. So right here, it shows that this area has shown a little bit of structure. And the thing is, the more engulfing candles you see inside of this zone, the stronger the level. Excuse me, stronger the level. It shows that candles have to make large moves inside of this area, meaning this is a pivot area in the market where engulfing candles have to happen consistently to break through this zone. So what I want to do is go left and keep finding areas. So right here, we made our area based off of these three candles, right? And now we're going to look left. And now we have all these engulfing candles, another engulfing candle, look left again, engulfing candle in our zone, multiple engulfings. Now we have structure respecting our zone, another engulfing candle, another engulfing candle. So now we're starting to see all these engulfing candles take place inside of our zone. This shows strength, and we have structure respecting our area. So now these three candles show that this is a strong area. We'll move forward. And now what do we have? Structure respecting our zone, right? Coming close to our zone, moving away. Now we had 1, 2, retest. It came back inside, right? We didn't have a strong enough retest to get an engulfing moving away to take this for a sale if we wanted to get back in for another sale entry, okay? Things like this will help you understand what's happening in the market. And even right now, at this very moment, we're in an area of the market where we have an engulfing to the downside. And now we have market retesting the top of this structure area, possibly moving to the downside. Also, we have this trend line that the market does break out. We can see it touch this area and then push lower still. Okay. So a lot of times these trend lines and using engulfing candles and making your zones based off the candles that's previously engulfed will give you a lot of structure to work with. All right. And if we go to like a lower time frame, like an hour, right? And now we look at what's happening in the market, we can make an educated decision on everything that's happening, right? Based off of what we've already drawn up in the past, we have areas in the market that showed us where we can find areas where if we have a breakthrough in this zone, we can just take a buy from this area to this area if we get a retest of this area, right? And right now we're just seeing price stuck inside of this ranging area. We had a fake breakout here and then a push back down to the downside. A slight engulfing candle here. So little things like engulfing candles, trend lines will help you make more informed decisions inside of your trading, guys. So I'm not going to take up too much of it, but I wanted to give you guys just another insight on how to use the snapback strategy and different things to look for with the snapback strategy with using engulfing candles, using your trend lines, finding head and shoulder patterns, and then just cutting that head off the head and shoulders, connecting shoulder to shoulder, and seeing the structure within the market. Okay. It may be a lot at first to digest, but just to get the ball rolling with you guys, just start looking for head and shoulder patterns. Those alone will help you draw your trend lines out and keep you in a more advantageous position. And draw them out on a higher time frame, please. Like go to a daily or a 4-hour chart. Even a monthly chart actually gives us a lot of information on finding really good areas in the market where structure is just waiting to be had. Okay, guys, like those patterns on a monthly, they stick. And I mean, they really stick. Like if you find a head and shoulders pattern on a monthly chart and you draw that out, the daily, the weekly, the 4-hour, they'll all respect that because that monthly chart is, think about it. Where are the banks trading? Where are the hedge funds trading? They're not looking at a 4-hour chart like we are. They're looking at the monthly. They're looking at the weekly, the daily. Okay, so if we're finding head and shoulders patterns on those time frames with the weeklies and the dailies and the monthlies, we're going to find areas in the market that are very strong Let me get rid of these. That are very strong and that we can actually make a lot of profit and a lot of informed decisions and potentially start to grow our account in a more advantageous way where it'll grow more methodically, but at the same time we're having that risk factor minimized because we're looking at exactly what the banks are looking at. Okay, guys, that's just my goal. That's all I'm trying to do is make sure you guys have a more informed idea of what's happening in the market. Like right now, boom, this is a small, minute, almost head and shoulder, right? We can just take that from here to here, shoulder, shoulder, right? Cut the head off, and we'll leave that there, right? And if any point the market comes back to that area, if the market comes back to this area, we can use that information. But if I went down to a lower time frame like the daily, went to the candles, you can see just us drawing it from here to here on the daily showed us that structure was here. And as soon as we saw a test here, we got that retest, that retest right here, and that engulfing. That's all we wanted was that engulfing, right? And now we look left, see how many candles it's engulfed. We'll draw our area out because everything leads to the next thing, right? Here and here. And these are the areas we're watching out for now, right? And what happened? Price broke out of our area here. Just because we engulfed these candles, it has structure now. You look left, structure, right? Structure. Everything's respecting this line, this area that we have now inside of our structure. Respecting. So now we know this area is an area that the market wants to continue to respect. Just finding your entry points inside of these zones, right? And this is being patient. You know, knowing where to mark your charts up and knowing where to find the entry points and those trend lines are going to be pivotal for you guys because you can find the best possible zones. And this is where you see people like wealthy pips like Gustavo, Orrin Wright. You'll see Stevenson Lindor. They use all these methods because they work. They're tried and true. There's nothing new happening in Forex that hasn't happened in the last 10 to 20 years, right? Trump may be in office, but they're still making the same kind of money. Nothing's changed. Like Jules Tanger says, money doesn't leave the planet in a recession. It just moves from one place to another. Okay? We've been taught, oh, there's no more money. Like, okay, where did it go? What did you guys do with all the money? It just went from one pocket to another pocket. Okay, guys? So when we get that in our heads, we understand that money isn't leaving. We just got to know where to get it, where to look for it at. And when you start finding that structure in the market, you'll know where your entry points will be. You'll know where the bottoms are for the bank. You'll know where the tops are for the bank. So when you're looking for that entry for that buy or that sell, you want to find out, man, is this the bottom? Is this as far as it's going to drop before it reverses? Find structure. There's structure all through the market. If you start finding structure using those trend lines, and then you can start finding those areas where those actual entry points for the snapback strategy are going to start already being available to you because you'll know where the structure is waiting for it to bounce and go higher. Okay, that economic divergence that we're looking for with the snapback strategy works hand in hand with the trend lines, right? With those areas of supply and demand, right? So simplify it by taking your time, like over the weekend when the market's closed, and just start looking for head and shoulder patterns. Start looking for those, those areas where you find actual structure where you see, okay, I have a bit of uptrend happening here. Let me find my first high and my second high, and then we're gonna go 1, 2, go right through, right? But the thing with this is when you draw trend lines, I'm actually gonna talk about. I know some people are new here, and I don't want to make sure we miss this either. Get rid of these. When you draw your trend lines, right? And this is very important. Based on the movement of the market, your trend lines need to be in a certain area. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys a prime example. I have people in the beginning were like drawing trend lines like this. Okay, we don't do trend lines this way. This is not beneficial for you to draw a trend line this way. One, because you're already anticipating for the market to do what? Go higher. That's not what we're waiting on. The market's already in an uptrend. Okay, this thing could literally keep going higher and never hit this line. Okay, it can go here, go sideways, and then boom, giant candle. You're like, it didn't hit my trend line, guys. I can't find an entry. Do not do this. This is a huge mistake that a lot of new people make. If you're looking at an uptrending market, okay, your trend line needs to be below the candles. Okay, this is where finding the low and then finding your next low, right? Make a difference. Okay. So we're going to go 1, 2, go right through. Now in the beginning, you may have drawn your first one here, and then you had a test, and then you had a break, and then it moved higher, and then a break, and then it moved higher, which is fine, but this isn't giving you enough information. You have to be able to adjust to the market. Do not feel bad about trend lines. Like, oh, I drew my trend lines wrong. Oh no. It's not that you drew them wrong. The market's continually evolving. So you have to make sure you adjust to the market. This is your new wick that you're going to use, right? Now you had a break, and then boom, back into structure, right? And then at that point, after you find this engulfing, you tell yourself, okay, this is the new low. This engulfing happened. I'll do this. I'll find my entry here, right? And now, like I said, you find the zones using the engulfing. So your trend line goes from 1, 2, go right through. And you see the power of the engulfing candle, right? The moment we had an engulfing candle here, what happened to the structure? We tried structure here, nothing. We tried structure here, nothing. When we put structure here on the engulfing candle, what happened? Respect, 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 until we had a full break. And now what's happening? Price broke, and now we have a new low, a new level of structure below. So now we're going to have to draw a new line from here to here. Okay, and this is where trend lines just evolve as you work your way through. Here to here, and now we have our new structure here. So now we put price into a channel where it has to show you either it's going to stop here, go lower, or break higher. Okay, and now here is a level where we've seen price have a structure here because of the previous engulfing. And now we have an area here where price broke below, and now we have an engulfing to the downside, but price is now moving higher. Another engulfing here to the upside, small engulfing. So this level is moving. These levels are going to start respecting as we move forward in the future. All right, and I can go back to what we just did earlier, guys. We drew our lines out. We had an engulfing candle. It engulfed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to catch this candle here, right? Another zone here. And what happened? Price just moving higher, moving higher. All because we found our structure, wick to wick, found an engulfing, take the information from the engulfing, utilize it. That's it. That's all we're doing, guys. It's nothing difficult about this in this situation. If you're just patient and you look for the signs, because the banks have telltale signs over and over and over. Engulfing candles are the bank's way of saying, we're moving money and you don't know it yet. So if you pay attention to these large candles, always I name them, people laugh at me. This is like a Warren Buffett candle. This is like a Mark Cuban candle. You know, this is if you guys don't know who Ray Dalio is, this is like a Ray Dalio candle in here. He owns the largest hedge fund on the planet. So those big money movers are the ones that I'm thinking about when I look at these candles saying, okay, somebody with deep pockets just made this happen. I need to pay attention. This is a daily chart, guys. We can't do this on our own. When you know the banks show their hand, it shows structure. Mind you, look, guys, engulfing candle to the downside, right? How many candles did this candle engulf? It didn't really engulf this one because this was a lower low than this one. So we engulfed this candle only, right? So what we're going to do is, I mean, it works over and over, right? Here to here is our zone. We don't take this move. We wait for the retest. We want price to come back into our zone, activate us, and then pull us into profit. And what happened? Boom, activated. We had a retest again. Boom, drop off for the sale. Okay? And this is all that happens over and over. And I'm telling you guys, if you can do this consistently and just wait it out and just find your entry points inside of here, waiting for the engulfings to happen. And the rule is, as long as the candle doesn't close on the other side of this, the sale is still attractive. And what happened? The market moved all the way back up. And what happened? In order for it to break, engulfing candle to the upside broke and told us that the sale is no longer viable any longer. And then what happened? We had structure again. The market respected over and over, and now it's moving to the upside because we had 1, 2, and now we know we're moving to the upside now, guys. So little things like this, game changer information. This markup looks attractive now because it's like, man, I could just sit here and wait for this to come down, possibly retest this area, boom, back to the upside. Or possibly test this area. If it breaks through, I can wait for a retest of this area, boom, back to the downside. This would be my exit point down here, potentially. Okay? So I want you guys to understand that trend lines, supply and demand zones, snapback strategy, all in conjunction equal profits. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. Now, we've covered snapback strategy. We've covered trend lines. We went in depth with, the different meanings of what the indicators are. Now, I can't get out of here without talking about a little bit of crypto. Okay? I got to give you guys.
But wait, Kurt, wait. Listen. Now, we want you to talk about crypto, right? Because we're going to save save the best for last. But remember, in the summit, we got a lot of new people. So what I would like to do is just let everyone kind of take a breather and then have an opportunity to ask any questions or to clarify anything, because this is for them to be able to say, okay, I learned this thing, but let me make sure it's making sense in my head. All right. So guys, listen, you've got another master trader here. This one is an educator on IML TV, right? Like, you can go to his channel on the crypto inside of IML TV, right? And just remember, that's our family that's representing out there, right?
You type Dream Team in the chat, you instantly get love.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, you're going to see him teach and do different things as it is, because he's an educator. He's taking time out because of a bond that we created with our team and his team. All right, so please utilize this time. If there's anything that Curtis has gone over that you want a little clarification on, or you want understanding, or you want clarity, here's your chance to do it. Because on IML TV, they do their best, but it's the whole company, right? It's the whole company. So, go ahead, guys, unmute, grill him, whatever it is that you need, so you're solid once he is back in his zone and you're in your zone. Amazing, bro, though. Amazing. Like, I'm sitting here, I'm like clarifying a lot of little stuff for myself too, so it's amazing. Some of the stuff that you showed us before, even with the engulfing strategy, right? I mean, we've moved on. I progressed a little bit, and I'm sure others have too. So now when I'm seeing this, you go over this again, I'm like, oh, I see it so much differently now than before, so
sometimes all you need is just that small refresher, because a lot of times you'll see it the first time and it's like, oh, okay, that looks pretty cool. And then after you start to notice it, like when you find your areas, when you find the engulfings, and then you look left and find out how many candles it engulfed, and you draw your zones out, and then you just look left and you start seeing structure all over the place. Like, man, this thing just gets inside of here and then finally a breakout. Gets inside of here and then finally a breakout. Wow, okay. So I can start paying attention to these areas and just start putting, like, maybe a few buy stops, or something like here where once it moves out, boom, take me in a profit, right? Or a few sales stops, or once it breaks out of here, boom, takes me in a profit. So I love showing this to people, because in the beginning it's like, it's difficult to see it, but it's like a painting. Like, once somebody shows you a part of a painting, like, dude, you see that flower bowl with the boot, and then the other guy, and he's walking, it's like you can't not see it anymore. Like, dude, I never saw that until you showed. So I love being able to kind of like just open people's eyes, because everybody needs to have that aha moment. Once you have that first aha moment, it sparks something in you that says, wait a minute, maybe it's other things I'm not seeing. I should look a little deeper now. So definitely.
Hi, Curtis. This is Judy. How you going?
Judy, I miss you. How's it going?
How you going? So I just want to ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be a good idea if we took the Bollinger Bands off and drew our trend lines on the other the line chart, like we did before? So then we have our trend lines in, and then, so we have our trend lines in, and then put the Bollinger Bands back on.
Yeah, because that would actually like clear up a lot, because sometimes it's very messy with the Bollinger Bands and it's hard to see. So definitely. I definitely agree. That is actually a great way to actually like word it, because sometimes you're so busy trying to find those actual, entry points, or those actual, points that put your trend lines, and you got the Bollinger Bands where you're like, wait, is that a line? Is that the Bollinger Band? Should I be like, even here we have a shoulder, head, shoulder, and it would be easy to just go from here to here, boom, 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 and then great. And you can see it much clearer because there isn't anything extra on the chart. Just like we drew it out.
I found those head and shoulders a couple of weeks ago. I spot them now straight away.
You trained the eyes now. It's easy.
Yeah, I got them. But I think if we don't have the Bollinger Bands on and we go like this, then we can see them easier, put our trend lines on, and then go back and put the Bollinger Bands on.
Yeah, definitely agree. And it's no problems with that either, because for most people they'll have like their own templates made. So sometimes people will have I have a lot of different templates I use for like crypto and forex and things like that. So it's nothing to have like a plain Jane template, and then that way you'll just have a regular chart. And then once you put your Bollinger Bands and everything on, once you put your trend lines there, you can snap your template back on there. And that way everything will kind of make more sense. And that way you can have everything marked up clean. And I strongly suggest that you do this at the beginning of the week. Do it on a Saturday or a Sunday when the market's open or it's just about to open. And that way you have a full idea of what to look out for the upcoming week. And this is where I tell people sometimes, if I don't have a setup, I won't make a trade. Period. Like, I'm not forcing anything. If I don't see something that's attractive within my markup and my setup, I will not trade. I mean, people are like, man, dude, you didn't post a trade in the last 3 days. Like, I didn't trade. It was nothing to trade. Like, I did not have a profitable setup for my strategies of how I trade. I may take a swipe trade here and there if it looks good, or if I'm looking at a certain pair. Or now also, this is a paramount thing as well. I strongly advise that new people find 1 to 2 pairs to trade. Do not go all over the place looking for pairs, guys. It is the quickest way to get burnt out with trading. I promise you. And it's not your fault if nobody told you this, or it's not your fault if you're excited. Okay? I know sometimes we'll tell you guys, hey, take your time, be easy, go through the videos first. And you're like, bump all of that. I'm about to make this money. And it's like, your first week, first month, and you all in. And then all of a sudden you come back to the next meeting, you're like, yeah, it's cool. I like it. Like, what happened? It was just so much. You got to start slow. It is very easy to get immersed in Forex, right? It gets addictive. You find yourself out on a date with somebody, you scratching your neck like, man, I just want to go to the bathroom and look at the chart real quick. Man, they ain't going to know. I don't want to be rude, but this GBP was looking good before we got out the car. So it's easy to get immersed. Sorry, engulfed. It's easy to get immersed in Forex and understanding what's going on with IML and the excitement, and that's natural. And we want you to be that way because it is exciting. But start slow. In my opinion, one of the best pairs for new people, and this is my opinion, is Australian dollar USD. I say that because the Australian dollar moves in a way where it moves in almost in the opposite direction of what the US dollar does. I'll give you guys a prime example. So I'm gonna show you. I'll just actually put both of these up here. I'll put Aussie USD right here, and then I'm gonna move this. Oh, I already have UCAD up, so cool. I'll actually take this off. I'm gonna put gold here. Okay. Now this is gonna be pretty straight to the point for you guys to see. And I'm gonna go here, Aussie USD, and then we're gonna go to a daily chart. And yeah. Now, if you can see what's happening here, does that look pretty similar to you guys? I'm going from gold to Australian dollar. Gold, Australian dollar, right? Not a whole lot of difference in the movement in this chart. When gold was moving up, Australian dollar was moving up. When gold was moving down, Australian dollar was moving down. This is because the Australian dollar, their economy is based off of a lot of mining from time to time. So they export a lot of minerals, copper, aluminum, gold, silver. Like the Australian economy does a lot of mineral exports. So the commodity side of things like gold and silver move in correlation with the US dollar. So when gold's doing great, the dollar's doing bad. Okay? When a dollar is doing bad, gold is phenomenal. Now, Australian dollar, by them being so tied to commodities, their currency moves very close and similar to commodities. Like I just showed you guys, gold, Australian dollar, gold, Australian dollar. Meaning, if the dollar's weakening, you just buy the Australian dollar. Done. If the dollar is strengthening, you're just going for a sale, and the Australian dollar is the dollar's strengthening, you're going to go in for a sale because the Australian dollar is weakening because the dollar is strengthening based off, the strength of the dollar is weakening the commodities price. So it affects the Australian dollar as well. So I always tell people, if you're brand new, the Australian dollar, US dollar, if you take the time just to learn that pair, it educates you on the strength of how the dollar moves. It educates you on how commodities move. It educates you on understanding that different things inside of the economies make these currency pairs move, and it's more deliberate when it moves. Like you don't see a lot of indecision with this. Like this thing is just up then down, then up then down. There's not a lot of like consolidation, as you can see what's happening right now. This is a daily chart. Okay, so for a new person trading Australian dollar, US dollar, it'll give them an understanding of how the market really moves and how to look for structure and things of that nature. And like I said, guys, we can always just, like I said, find head and shoulder pattern or something like this on a daily chart. We're teaching the new people how to do this. Boom, cut the head off, shoulder to shoulder, and there you go, right? Easy peasy. No sweat off your back. I mean, we could probably keep that area here just to be funny with it, but that's only if we were trying to, you know, get everything lined up, right? So this shows a lot of structure in the market now based off of what we have here. And I mean, if we went to the line chart, yeah, there you go. Makes way more sense now. Straight to the shoulder, all the way to the other shoulder. You're right, Judy. You were right. It's easier to see. So yeah, put the candles back up. There you go, right? Easy structure, right? And now we're looking at something on Australian dollar, US dollar on the daily. We can go down to the 4 hour, all the way over to the hour. Look at this. Looks really attractive for a buy right now, guys. So I'm going to leave that there. But yeah, this pair just makes sense for new people. So it's one of those things where if you have a lot of new people or a large influx of new people and you put them all on this pair as homework, it's easy to kind of teach and instruct people on it. And then you can kind of segue into other things like gold. And if you learn how to trade things like gold, it prepares you for having that larger account. It prepares you for transitioning into crypto as well, because commodities move very rapidly and very volatile like the crypto market. So I like this pair because it's like a training wheels for what's to come in a sense. So little things like that. Any other questions?
Yeah, Kurt. Yeah, real quick. When it comes to retesting structure or trend line, whatever the case may be, is there like a rule of thumb that you look for as far as like how many candles, you know, or is it like, have you seen a pattern like maybe you'll see a retest on certain time frames, like after the, you know, second or third or fourth candle or anything like that?
I always leave it up to Tino to ask the gold questions, man. That was a really good question, bro. So with retest, what I found is most of the time you will get a maximum of 4 retests in Forex. Now, don't ask me about crypto. We can be here all day talking about how many retests crypto would do. That thing hit the same line 19 times, and I'm trying to answer that question. So with Forex, though, typically you get 1 to 2. Obviously, you can't get 1 retest. You can get 2 to 4 retests of that line. You get the first, like even right here, we got this whole area was like a one big, you know, movement where it kind of consolidated on the line, and then we got 1 close to it, and then 2. Well, 1, 2, 3 here. So it's like the third retest here. Typically, around the third, if it comes back down, between the third and the fourth retest, these are more dangerous. These are the ones where I tell you to look out for, because this is where the big risk takers live. If you stay involved with looking at another retest, let's say if we got in here, right? If we found this area and we knew, oh, it came down here, I'm gonna buy because I know this is a strong area of structure in the past. Boom, we took off to the upside. You got out somewhere in here when you saw it engulfing coming down, because I know we didn't get out way up here. We thought it was going to keep going higher. We're all in here to make the money, so I'm going to be honest. We didn't get out at this candle. We got out here because we saw the engulfing, right? Now, market starts to come back down. You decide, you know what? Close enough. We got an uptrending candle. I'm going to take the buy here. It moves up again. You got out here when you saw another engulfing. Cool. Now, if you get in here again, this is more dangerous because you've already gotten 1 retest, close to it, 2 retests. The third and fourth retests are always more dangerous because this level is not strengthening, it's weakening. This area can break down, and now we can have the market go much lower now. Because typically what happens, if the market keeps retesting an area, it's showing that price wants to continue to drop. It's not making consistent higher highs, all right? The rules still apply. The basic rules still apply from when we trade. We look for higher highs and higher lows for buy opportunities, right? We don't want to keep buying from a consistent level, hoping it's going to make a higher high, right? That just doesn't even make sense. We've seen Forex trends where we see something where if it's, let me go out a little bit further. If it's just doing something where I kept trying to find an area where it's just making consistent lower lows or consistent like areas where if it's just testing, like let's say right here, right? Argument's sake, right here. If this thing is making the same area over and over and over, 1, 2, 3, 4 in this area, we know it's not trying to break out for a buy opportunity, right? We don't want to keep getting in for a buy opportunity somewhere in here saying, oh, it's going to break here as it goes lower. It's not making any higher highs. It's not making consistent highs. So we know this would not be a strong area to look for buys. Okay, now we were selling, great, right? We got here, boom, sell opportunity. And what's happening? We're making a low, a lower low, a lower low, and all of a sudden we had another test and we broke away. Okay, so it makes more sense to look for the lows are being lower, but here we're not getting any higher highs. Nowhere. We have one higher high here, and now we got a lower low, no higher highs, a lower low, right? The actual market is moving lower. It makes no sense to look for buys here. We have to be very smart, and you can see structure here, right? The market did what? Once it hit this area, we had a low, lower low, a low here, a retest, and all of a sudden, what happened? Engulfing candle broke our structure, and now what happened? Retest, 1, 2, 3, boom, another engulfing candle. So these areas are going to give us the information. And then what happened when we got another area, another break of our structure? Engulfing candle, right? Large candle to the upside. So you have to pay attention to the structure that we're drawing out and the structure that the market leaves for us over and over. I drew this out just because we were doing an example. You can see this was like a great example of structure, right? Moving forward. Market showed huge engulfing candle here, boom, to the upside, then back down. And if we drew out our area here, let's just say we had right here, right, structure in this zone here, we find a level, and then moving forward, this just showed us everything we needed here. And this makes sense to me because I'm waiting for retest of this line to move higher, right? If we have a break of this line, I need to see a retest to show me that it wants to go higher. We had a break, retest did what? Broke down, had a retest, and it went lower. Broke down, retest, went lower. We had a break here, and it never even came down to retest. It just took off from this point on after it broke. But guess how many touches we had? 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth touch, took off. So between 2 to 4 touches of trend lines, right? And after that, we don't want to be involved too much longer after that. It'll show a breakdown or consolidation is right after. But that was a really good question, Tino. Real good question.
Cool. Thanks.
Oh, yeah, no problem, bro. No problem.
Hey, Curtis, this is Janet.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. So, see, if you go back to that that structure where you got the 2 large engulfing candles, both the bears and the bulls, right there. Back.
Right here.
Right there. Right there.
Yep.
Okay. So, we'll actually go back just to the left of that. Just to the left of that. We see a lot of money that got made right in that structure.
Mm-hmm.
So the entry for a new person looking at this, what is the candle that they decide to get in this trade for a buy? Is it that engulfing blue candle right there after it?
This one here?
No, the previous one.
Right.
Yeah, right in here, right there. So
right in here.
Right in there. How do you decide? How does a person decide where to exactly enter that trade?
Okay, so this is where understanding. I'm actually going to mark this up a little bit better so we can go in a lower time frame. If you see a test of structure like this and you can't find an entry within this area, I'm going to go ahead, put that there. We're going to go to a lower time frame, like the hour. Oh, make this a little smaller so I can see where we were. Here we go. And I'm going to zoom in. Here we go. Now, inside of here, it's very difficult to find an entry point because we want to find a strong zone in here where it's pushing out. This gave us no strong entry. Nowhere inside of here. For me, for my entry point strategies. Now, typically what I want to see is an engulfing candle moving out of this zone here, and then a retest. Now, this probably will be the best candle here, this one here, because what I want to do is, like I said, once I find my engulfing, I'm drawing my zones out using the previous candles that it engulfed. So all I'm taking is this candle. Wrong one. Always do that. I'm taking this candle here. This small doji candle next to this engulfing candle here. It engulfed this previous candle, and it broke our structure line here, this middle red line. So I'm looking for a retest of this area. And this candle here left a small itty bitty wick. I'm gonna try to zoom in best I can. Bear with me. This candle here left a small wick, retesting where this candle's zone left us. Because the engulfing candle is the flag saying, hey, pay attention, but we need the previous candle's information to show us where we should be getting in at. We want the market to come back to us and then pull us into profit. We don't want to chase the market. So for a new person, you will find your engulfing, breaking your zone, breaking upward into your zone, and then you will look left, find the actual candle that we're going to mark up, and then your entry point, your buy stop, or your buy limit will be right here at this level, at this price level here. And then you wait for price to, because once this candle closes, you're waiting for price to come back, hit this line, pull you into profit, and there you go. And now you're off to the races. But for me, I use different ways to get out of these trades as well. And a lot of people like, okay, well, how do I use that? And it's a little more advanced on how I exit. But for a new person, I'm going to tell you flat out, 20 pips. Done. You brand new. You want to consistently make profit. 20 pips for a new person should be your goal in any trade you take, because you want to make sure that you understand what's happening in the market. You're not trying to hit a home run every time. You want to make sure that you're consistently profitable. That's the goal in this entire thing we're doing. A lot of people are so attached to making the money. The moment you get out of your mindset of saying, I want to make this money, and you start saying, I want to find the best setup possible, that's when you're going to make all the profit, because you're detaching yourself from the emotional side of your brain that wants to make this money. When you start saying, I want to find the best setups, now you're telling yourself, I'm in love with the process. I want to see the market for what it's worth. I don't care if I make $100 or $3.75. I made profit, period. That's all this is about. Being patient, making profit, and do not compare your account to other people's accounts. Do not compare your trades to other people's trades. Your journey is going to be different. So like Janet, you asking me the entry points, fantastic question, but your profits are going to be such a great story for the people you decide to share this opportunity with. One, because it means something too. You have an emotional connection with what you're doing because you've gone through and you've learned how to do this the right way. You getting 20 pips is going to be something that everybody else should be saying, wow, 20 pips, that's all? No, 20 pips is consistent. Okay, 20 pips is something where I started my account off I'm not trying to get off subject, but in my beginning stages of IML, I started my account off with $500. I went from $500 to $10,000, getting 20 pips per trade. Every time I hit a new benchmark, I went from $500 to $750. I changed my lot size. I 20 pipped that to death. I was shooting for the stars and I landed on the cloud. I went on a 4-hour time frame and I was like, man, these are some big old candles. I know I can get 20 pips out of one of these bad boys. I just got to find the right setup. That's all I looked for. I went on a 4-hour and I was trying to get 20 pips out of a 4-hour candle. I did it over and over and over, and I made 20 pips. And people were looking at me like, bro, but it went 180 pips. It went 300 pips. I made money. That's all I know is I won. And I'm doing it consistently over and over and over. So back to the subject, I want to make sure that you guys are understanding that when you find these entry points based off the engulfings, you're using the previous candle's information. You're drawing your line out at the top and the bottom. And what you want to do is you want to assess how much room is inside of this candle. So what I do is I'll draw my line out, right? I'll find the actual crosshair tool. I'll go from here down to here. And it shows me this is a 15 pip gap, right? So if my entry point is here, my stop loss can't be here because a wick can come down, touch this, and still close above here and then take off to the upside, right? I have to give myself a little bit of room. So now I'm looking for structure below my area. Okay, so I'm looking like right about here would be the first level of structure, somewhere in here, this area. So So from about here to here, that's about 40 pips, right? For a stop loss. I'm taking a 40 pip stop loss, guys. And I'm telling you that because I'm taking a very, very small lot size. You never start your trades off with a large lot size. Because what happens is you'll start your trade off with a large lot size, and then you'll get drawdown. A wick can come all the way down inside of here, and all of a sudden touch this area and then pull back higher. And then boom, you in profit. This thing got all this buying pressure now from that large wick it just left, and this thing goes to the moon. And your stop loss is right in here, stopped you out, never got a chance to even get involved with the trade. But if you take a small lot size and you let the trade move in your favor, and now what's happening? We got movement. We got some strong movement happening. What you're going to do is you're going to wait for more engulfing candles to find more entries. And now you're scaling your position. And guess what? You got equity behind you now. So now you can take that real lot size you were looking for, because now it's almost a risk-free trade. If you're up, let's say $40 in a trade, and you decide you want to take a $1 lot size, but you started off with a 50-cent lot size, it makes more sense. Or if you're up, $10 a trade or $10 in a trade, you decide to take another 50-cent position. Now, if that 50-cent position has some drawdown, you're not losing any money because you've already had the equity built for you. And you're in a position to handle that drawdown, right? So something like this, we're moving in our favor, and all of a sudden we had an engulfing candle here, right? We decide, okay, this is a new zone. I'm going to put my area here. I'm going to get in. Boom, what happens? Candle, boom, touch the area, boom, pulls you in profit, right? You feeling good. You on cloud now, and all of a sudden, boom, engulfing to the downside. You start getting scared. Your chest start beating fast. You on Facebook saying, Kurt, can I get you on the Zoom chat? Can you get on the Zoom chat? So what happens is that equity that you've already built, you're still in profit though. Okay? Nothing scary has happened yet. You're still in profit. And now all of a sudden, boom, engulfing to the upside, right? You try to find another entry point right inside of here. You can find another area. You put a line here. Price never came back and reactivated you. But now you move up in profit and you tell yourself, I've had enough. This is too much for me. I'm already in. I'm closing out. I've made my money. Okay? You get that next push out of that zone, you're good. And you've already made 20 pips on both of these entries, okay? Because what I like to tell people is if you're going to stay into a trade, if we found our entry here and we go up 20 pips and we decide to stay in this trade because we want to get a little more profit, and you get another entry point here, right? This was our first engulfing after this happened. You got another entry point here, and now all of a sudden it starts to pull lower, and now another engulfing happens. You wanted another entry, you didn't get it. But from here, we got a 20 pip move up to the upside, close out both positions, okay? You've already gone 20 pips on your first trade. The second position's gone 20 pips. You've gotten what you came for and some. Don't be greedy. Okay, so for a new person, 20 pips is the safest way to make sure you remain consistently profitable and you avoid having situations like this right here, where you've been in the market too long and this thing starts to consolidate. You had a big push to the upside, and then boom, it takes you out. It goes stop loss hunting. That's what we call it. This candle was like a big old stop loss hunter. It comes down looking for all those stop losses, and then boom, back up in profit and takes off to the upside. So we like to wait. We like to get in, get out, let all of the mess happen, and then we're using our structure again, right? All of our areas of structure making sense all over again. Boom, engulfing to the upside, right? What we gonna do? Find our area right here. What happened? Price took off, retest for the entry point, game time, straight to the upside. All you want is 20 pips. Retest, boom, 20 pips again. Retest, boom, 20 pips again. Okay, and then what happened? We started having to break down the structure. We had candles start closing below our area. Okay, so mind you, our zone is this entire area here. Now, if we decided to get back in after all of the craziness happened, move this up a little bit, right about there. And what happened? Our area, we had price breakdown, had a retest of that zone, and now what did it do? Dropped off. So small things are going to help you out. The same thing. This area started to prove to be a new area of supply. All right. And this was our area of demand from the past. Now we have price trapped inside of our new area of supply and demand. And right now we're dealing with it still at this moment, based off all the past information we had. And we're just marking this up from the past looking forward. Like anything we do in life, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You got to look back to connect the dots. If we don't know where we've been, we can't know where we're going. So the past is going to dictate the future. Okay? This is why looking left is so important when we do our markups, and understanding that all these engulfing candles, all these different zones, head and shoulder patterns, having these engulfings are going to give us so much more information as opposed to just looking for constant areas of retouches and retests. Look for those engulfings and then find out how many candles it engulfed, right? Draw that zone out. Like right here, it pretty much just engulfed this candle, right? So this wasn't a strong area for a sale anyway. This was just one, like I said, this was a flat out stop loss hunter. This was a fake breakout, and then boom, took up to the upside. So I like to just make this in respect of our structure as well. All the information we had in the past was respected. And if anybody is wondering what this is, this price action monitor, this is something that was coded and was given to me. If you do want this, I will be giving this to Tracy in Vegas, and she can spread it out to everybody in the Dream Team from that point on. Because I've been getting so many questions about this one indicator. All this is RSI with the different shifts built into it. Whenever a downtrend happens, it shifts from buying market to selling market. And then when an uptrend happens, it shifts from selling market to buying market. So everybody calls it my cheat sheet. I always say, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I use it all the time. I love it, and I'm gonna be sharing this with you guys. So in Vegas, I'm gonna make sure Tracy, because I can't email this. My friend coded it for me, and I have to physically give her this file because I can't. It's too big of a file to email, so I have to give her this file on a flash drive, and she'll be able to pass it out to all the different leaders within the team, and then the leaders can pass it down to their teams as well. So I'm sharing this with the squad because a lot of people don't have this. This is like very proprietary. Like my boy gave me this, and I was like, for real? So I got to share love with the family. So you guys will have this like after the Vegas convention. If there's any other questions, feel free to ask.
Yes, I do. How you doing, Kurt?
Tyree, man. I gotta say, man, I'm so glad you're on here right now, bro. I've been seeing all the news. I'm so glad you're doing well. I'm glad to see that smile. I know you got a joke for me, so I'm gonna go ahead and just let you do your thing because you always got something funny to say.
First of all, I want to say thank you to Tracy for getting you back on. Second of all, I want to say thank you for taking time to get on with us. I want you to know that you are always in my prayers. I love you, Kurt. I'm not going to be able to make it to Vegas because you were one of my treats for making it to Vegas. Okay. But I'm not going to be able to make it, so I'll get a chance to be treated by God to be in your presence the next time the opportunity presents itself.
Definitely.
And I want to tell you thank you so much because you have advanced my learning and has opened up my realities of how I could take what you have taught me and impact the life of others. I want to thank you for that. I also want to thank you. You answered some things for me tonight, and you educated me on some things tonight that I've been asking God about. And again, I know you are a godly vessel because things I've asked him about in the past, he spoke that answer through you. And tonight he did the same thing. So keep on the path that you're doing. You had mentioned about a pair for a beginner to start with.
Yes.
And I'm working on something. God is working on something through me to help beginners. And you confirmed 20 pips. And that's something that he had been working with me on. The other thing, the pair that you had mentioned was an AUD. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying this to you because I was saying it to my trading crew, within the last week or two that I was trying to find a pair, no more than 3 pairs that work with, but, some pairs that move together. Mm. And you confirmed that, and you even said it before I even knew it. And what I want to say is that I found it in IML Academy Basic Number 1 in a video that a Daisy taught. If everybody want to know, I'll put it in our group. But you confirmed, and it's a beginner's pair, and the pair was, like you said, AUD. Now, for me, I found that GBP and the pound pair and the euro pair, they move together.
Yeah.
Okay, and I learned that from you.
Yep. But
I wanted a pair that was correlated to move to them, but an easier pair. And I also asked God to give me a pair that was comparable to gold.
Mm.
And then you spoke AUD.
Hey, I just give what God tells me to speak on. That's it.
And then,
I've been sick all day today too. And when Tracy called me, I was in the bed and I'm like, oh, I gotta get up. I gotta do this. And it was funny because I was sitting here thinking to myself, like, I want to make sure I help the new people because I know you guys had like a large influx of new people, and I want to make sure everybody's, getting something that they can grab hold to. And literally, I was like, bam, Australian dollar, US dollar. That's the one I teach my people. She should be able to show people that should work too. And boom, there it was.
and what I like about it is, as you spoke about its relationship with gold, I also told God I wanted something that can be comparable from the Forex to the movement of crypto.
Mm-hmm.
And who better to get that from than a cryptonologist? Gold, as you said, is comparable to the crypto market.
Yep.
So, it really helped me. So I now know that the pairs, I'm understanding the market enough to where I can now focus on 3 pairs instead of catching a train on every pair that look comparable.
Yeah.
So as you said, 1 to 2 pairs, and the correlated pairs is in IML basic number 1. As you said, AUD. And the thing I like about AUD, USD, EUR, USD, but there we go, AUD.
Yep.
Now, what I like is that EUR, which is what I just said, also moves with the pound. And you said that, the pound pair you like and the euro pair you like. So what I'm saying is you taught me and then you confirmed it at the same time.
Oh yeah, I mean,
and
I
love
appreciate
it. So,
you even going in that deep, bro, to even like have that insight, because a lot of people don't take the time to understand what correlates with certain pairs. Like I tell people every Wednesday, they do crude oil inventories, right? Everybody thinks that affects just the US dollar because they're talking about crude oil. But if you think about Canada's main export is oil. They make most of their money is tied to the export of the mineral of oil. So every Wednesday, if crude oil does well, guess what else does well? Canadian dollar. So those small things start to make a lot more sense. Or when you think about the correlation of like the Japanese yen, everybody always wonders, why isn't the Japanese yen in the front of any pair? It's always in the end. The Japanese economy is built to stay weak because they're an export economy. They can't have an expensive dollar because it's not attractive to go over and spend a bunch of money in Japan to buy a lot of different wholesale things, because Japan is more of a wholesale nation. They need to keep their currency weak so they're attractive to other nations. And that's what Trump's doing with our dollar right now. He's making our dollar weaker so other nations have to do business with us.
Well, I'll tell you this, your knowledge is impeccable, it's unchanging. Because when I looked at, as you had mentioned about AUD, you also mentioned about the pound pair and the euro pair. When I looked at the correlated pair, it says AUD USD and EUR USD, AUD USD and GBP USD.
Yep.
So right there, those 3 pairs are answered my prayers, and you confirmed it with what's good for a beginner to learn with, which was AUD. So
yep.
I want to say thank you for your teaching, Kurt. It is life impactful, not just life changing, but it's life impactful, and God bless you, man. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Oh man, no problem, Tyree. I definitely appreciate you, brother, all day, every day, man. I'm just glad to be back on board with the Dream Team today, doing another session, man. I miss our Tuesdays. I used to sit around on Tuesdays afterwards, like, man, I'll be on right now having fun with Tino and the squad, man. Ramoni on there, give me the eye, like, all right, Curtis. So I definitely love being on here with you guys, man. Like I said, I'm looking forward to the next time I can meet up with you guys, and don't feel bad about it, Tyree, man. We're gonna have some more meetings. I gotta make some more time for Tuesdays, man. I can't be skipping out on the family, man. I miss y'all too much. So let's see. Is there anything else? Any other questions?
Oh yeah. If there's no more questions, then guys, we want to let Kurt go on and dive into some crypto stuff, right? We cannot miss the crypto master. Get a little juice, okay? So guys, is everybody squared away on what was covered tonight? Let me see a 1 in the chat if you're good. Okay, a 1 in the chat if you're good. Okay. Looks like everyone's good, Kurt. So
Okay.
it's time to take the handcuffs off and let you go.
All right, so I'm not gonna go hard. I'm
Okay.
gonna do just a little bit. So, what I teach on Crypto TV is the exchange side of trading. You know, they have other instructors that talk about the, MetaTrader 4, which is what we have here with, Bitcoin and Litecoin, Ethereum and Neo and EOS and all of that, where this is leverage trading, where we're using the actual leverage from our broker to make trades inside of the crypto market, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It is a very lucrative way to make money because we can take full advantage of the sales side of crypto, because crypto right now is almost like the stock market, where you can only really make money if you're buying when it's low and then you're selling while it's high. And that's perfectly fine. But this style trading on our actual broker accounts is so slept on right now. A lot of people don't even know it exists. So that's why when I hear people talk about like the Bitcoin futures market, where, oh, we're going to short Bitcoin, I'm like, you do that MetaTrader 4? Why y'all so excited about that? So a lot of people don't know. They have no idea about this side of trading. So I want you guys to know that you guys are really in the forefront of something that will become mainstream eventually. Okay? People are going to start shorting cryptocurrencies on these Forex brokers like JAFX. There's going to be new ones popping up all over the place. So I want you guys to know, like, this is something where in the next few years, the skill sets that you're developing now will be in high demand. And I mean all over the place. People are going to be trying to find you to say, hey, show me that crypto thing everybody's been talking about. And you'll be laughing like, man, I've been doing this for the last 3-4 years, and here you come. So what I'm going to get into is showing you guys how we basically keep our coins safe and how we purchase our coins and things of that nature. So let me see if I can move this out of the way right quick. I know I always had this thing like in the way. Down here if I can. Sweet. Okay. So first things first, if you are brand new to crypto, you have no idea what I'm talking about, you just, heard people talk about it, or you've seen a couple things on Facebook, this is coinmarketcap.com. Okay, this website allows you to come and check any cryptocurrency you want to. If you're brand new to Bitcoin, right? If you're brand new to Ethereum, brand new to Ripple, you have no idea where to buy it, how to attain it, anything of that nature, you can come to this site and it will basically give you the well-rounded overview of every cryptocurrency on the crypto market. Okay, right now there is a top, I think 1,000, like 1,500 cryptocurrencies at the moment right now. It's a lot. So I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of them are just dumpster juice. It's straight rainwater, no good. You don't want to get involved with every cryptocurrency you see right now because the space is so new. You have a lot of people that's just trying to play the money grab game. They know they're taking advantage of everybody's excitement. So you'll see a new coin pop up. Oh, we're gonna fix everything wrong with the internet with our cryptocurrency, and they want you to go ahead and just start throwing money at it. We're not doing that. I'm gonna show you guys what to look for when you're getting involved with a cryptocurrency. When somebody tells you about a cryptocurrency, the things to pay attention to. Okay, so rule number one, we base most of the value of any cryptocurrency on Bitcoin. A lot of times when you guys are looking at cryptocurrencies and you'll see the different prices on the side, prime example, give you guys an example of one. Let's see if I can, I'll just pull one up. Obviously I have it over here. Let's go with Ripple and BTC. That'll work. I'll get rid of EOS for now. All right, Ripple, BTC. Let's go to Litecoin. Litecoin is a little bit better because it's a bit more volatile. So Litecoin versus BTC. You'll see these numbers on the side, and people are getting confused. Like, I don't know how to calculate these pips on the side of this chart, Kurt. Like, how am I? And then, like, when I'm getting in and I'm trying to use my crosshair tool to see how much money I've made, if I got in here and it went all the way up to here, I'm seeing all of these numbers, and then it just says like 40, 41 or 40 something on the side. I'm like, yeah, that's not pips. The thing with crypto is it's calculated in something called Satoshi. Okay? A lot of people don't know that. So, and then I'll give you guys a quick overview. Satoshi is just the guy's name, the actual creator of Bitcoin. His name was Satoshi Nakamoto. He's an anonymous character. His name was on a chat site. I think it's like an abbreviation or an anagram for something else. They think it's like a group of people, but whatever it may be, his name was Satoshi Nakamoto, and he used that name. He was one of the main coders for Bitcoin. And when he disappeared, he left Bitcoin, in his open source code for the rest of the world to use and develop and grow. Now, they love this guy so much, but based off the invention he made with cryptocurrency and a blockchain technology, that they named how to calculate the actual value of Bitcoin, they named it Satoshi. So every single number you see on this actual side part here is not priced in US dollars, it's priced in Satoshi. So people figure out, well, how can I calculate Satoshis? It seems very difficult. I don't know how to really do that. And I'm here to tell you, don't do it. Okay? If you're new to trading cryptocurrency on your MetaTrader 4 or anything of that nature, don't do it. Come here, find the US dollar version of whatever you want to trade. So if you want to trade Litecoin, don't trade Litecoin BTC. Go to Litecoin USD, okay? So I'll give you guys another example. Let's see. I'll take Neo off and I'll go to Litecoin USD. All right, we're on a 15-minute chart. And now you can see this is Litecoin USD, Litecoin BTC. All right, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can get a full view. And this one here, a little bit more so you get the full view. Oh, that's too much. These OPs. Okay. Now, we have both charts. Not much difference in price. You see the same spikes and volatility, same spikes and volatility. This was just a cleaner drop off for Bitcoin. And this was more of a rigid drop off for the US dollar, because the dollar had a few spikes inside of here, but we still end up getting to the same price points here. Now, the difference is this here has actual dollar amounts on the side, okay? We're not working with Satoshi now. We're working with actual dollar amounts. So with dollar amounts, guess what we get to use? Pips. So we can calculate pips using Litecoin versus USD as opposed to using Litecoin versus Bitcoin, okay? Now, if I pull my crosshair tool out now, from here to this move up here, we've moved up about 86 pips on a 15-minute time frame, right? Makes a lot more sense. Middle number you see here with me using the crosshair tool, you got 12 showing how many candles, or 9 showing how many candles I moved across, and that 911, that last number is not a pip. So it's about 91 pips from where we are from the bottom to the top, okay? And then that very last number you see is the actual price point. That's $233 for the value of Litecoin. So right now, we're at 219. If we go back to the website we were just on, and I'll actually give you guys an example of what I mean. Litecoin at the moment is around 217. So yes, a little delay with the broker and stuff, but right now you see the value is pretty much the same with Litecoin, right? 217, 219, fluctuation in price. Website probably isn't updated, but it's fine. So those are just, that's one of the things I wanted to share with you guys, because I know a lot of people in the beginning are really confused when it comes to calculating crypto on your MetaTrader 4. Now, when you're on Bitcoin and you're trying to understand how a coin is valuable, this is what you want to look for. Right here is the max supply, okay? This is just bare bones value talk right now in crypto world. Max supply. There will never be more than 21 million Bitcoin in existence, okay? Ever. At the moment, we currently have about 16 million, almost 17 million in existence with Bitcoin. Now, here's the caveat with Bitcoin. A lot of people don't know. In the beginning, when Bitcoin first came into existence, there was a lot of people just using it for like fun and games, and nobody took it serious. So a lot of that Bitcoin got lost. They estimate about 4 million Bitcoin is just gone forever and will never be seen. People had it on laptops, desktops, old school computers that were just obsolete, blew up. They couldn't recover the wallets. The technology back then was just horrible. They're just gone. Now, when Satoshi Nakamoto, the guy who actually created Bitcoin, when he disappeared, he left with 1 million Bitcoin himself. They know that guy has it in a wallet somewhere when they can't even find him. He's like a fictitious character, whatever it may be. So that Bitcoin is gone. So at the moment, 5 million Bitcoin, gone, unaccounted for, right? So this number seems a little bit smaller now. We're like at 11 million. Now we go into the real life equation of Bitcoin. Most of the Bitcoin that you see in circulation isn't circulating. Think about the big money movers, the Mark Cubans, the Mark Zuckerbergs, the Ray Dalios. They bought large amounts of Bitcoin, millions of it. They estimate that about 7 to 8 million Bitcoin are just sitting in private wallets, not moving, put up, because some people with large amounts of money, like 50 Cent, bought a lot of Bitcoin, and it's just put up now. Now, that Bitcoin isn't circulating. So The actual amount of Bitcoin that's truly circulating is about 5 million Bitcoin that moves around consistently. Okay, like well, they say about 5. They say it oscillates between 5 and 8 million. Sometimes some of that sitting money starts to move once Bitcoin wakes up. So between 5 to 8. So right now you'll see around every 24 hours, about 6 million Bitcoin are moving. Right, this is the last the volume in 24 hours shows about 6 million Bitcoin are moving through the market. So the value of Bitcoin makes a lot more sense now, because based on scarcity, about 5 to 8 million Bitcoin move around. Only 20 million will be in existence. Most of it is just sitting still. If me, Tracy, and Tino and Janet had all the gold in the world, and we decided to go out and say, hey, here's 1 gold bar, Mr. Sylvester, he instantly becomes rich because there's a scarce amount. Same thing with Bitcoin. There's not a lot circulating. There's not a whole lot that's going to be in the max supply. People get confused saying, okay, well, if that's that meaning Bitcoin moving around, why isn't, why is it at this price? It's simply because there's not a whole lot circulating, and there's not a whole lot to be had at the end of the day. So as we get closer to this 21 million number, as it starts getting closer to 17 and 18 and 19 million, this price is going to skyrocket. This thing, they already estimate that 1 Bitcoin eventually will be worth $1 million eventually. And we all know this is the evolution of money. We're watching money evolve. So my mindset and my thought process is, why are we not taking full advantage of this? People get confused when they see the dips in Bitcoin and the correction in Bitcoin. Everybody watched the Bitcoin market, rise, and then it fell off, right? Everybody watched this big move at the end of 2017, and then all of this happened towards the end, and now we're starting to see the large uptick happen again, where we're finding structure again within the market, right? So my thing is just pay attention to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is the dictator of everything else that we have happening in the market. Okay, so if we can pay attention to Bitcoin and understand that what's happening in the market is all based on the value of this, and we know that Bitcoin will not be going back to zero, and that this thing is built off scarcity, and this is the new way of money that we see is decentralized, meaning the banks don't control it. No large hedge fund can decide how much money or how much Bitcoin is worth. You have to pay attention to that. Now, once you understand this doesn't apply to every cryptocurrency, because like I said, some of them are just dumpster juice. They're horrible. Now, the way we want to make sure we understand this is decentralized is the key. Ripple, a lot of people are excited about, is not decentralized. This is the total supply of Ripple right now. 99 billion. Okay? Does that sound like this will ever hit $10,000 a coin? If there's 99 billion of this, the more there is of something, the less valuable it is. Okay? And the caveat with Ripple is this. It is real simple. Ripple cannot be mined, meaning it is not controlled by the people. Ripple cannot be given away, meaning it is not controlled by the people. It's not for the people. Ripple is owned by the Ripple network. They did an estimate on the CEO of Ripple. He is technically the richest man in the world right now. Because, I'll go back to Ripple's actual value here. Ripple has $37 million flowing through it right now. As of right now. Ripple at one point had $87 million flowing through it. Now, Ripple helps the banks do transactions. Bitcoin at the moment has scalability issues. When they made Bitcoin, it didn't scale with the amount of users. Right now, we have millions of people using Bitcoin, but it can't keep up with everybody using it. So the fees, the transactions, all of that kind of stuff takes time, and it's a lot of money. Bitcoin right now only does like 6 or 7 transactions per second. That's not very fast at all. When you think about millions of people using Bitcoin, it only does 6 to 7 transactions per second, and there's millions of people sending money to and fro with Bitcoin. Ripple does about 15,000 transactions per second. That's very attractive to the banks. And it's not decentralized, meaning it's all controlled by the Ripple network. And this is where I'm going to educate you guys really fast on Ripple. Ripple potentially can pass up the value of Bitcoin. Yes, because the banks are going to start dumping trillions of dollars into Ripple because it's going to save them so much money. Because the thing is, by us knowing what Forex is, every bank in the world has US dollars sitting in it, period. With Trump being in office, it makes those US dollars seem very scary to hold on to, because what is he doing with the dollar? He's lowering the value of the dollar every day, right? If we know that Trump wants a weak dollar, that affects these other banks holding on to our money all around the world. With Ripple, it eliminates other banks having to hold on to our money. This is the scary part with Ripple. If they don't have to hold on to US dollars, what are they going to do with those dollars? They're going to send them flooding back to America. We don't want them. We want to cash out. Give us back our money. We'll give you back your money. Okay? Once that happens, it's called inflation. When there's more of something, it's less valuable. So if there's more US dollars in the United States, guess what happens to your money? It's worth less. There you go. So Ripple can potentially help the banks worldwide and at the same time destroy the US dollar at the same exact time. Everybody's so worried about Bitcoin, but Ripple is the one cryptocurrency that I just don't really root for because one, it's not decentralized, it's not for the people, it's not by the people, it's all about the banks. And it's a way for the banks to save money on wire transfers. Ripple does so many transactions so fast. Think about how we live today. If you do a wire transfer, it takes almost 5 to 7 days for a wire transfer to go through. I can get on a plane and fly across the sea to drop my money off faster than the bank can send it. That doesn't even make sense in today's day and age. I can get on a Zoom chat right now with 50 to 100 people and share with you guys, but it takes 7 days for my money to land somewhere. Doesn't even make sense. Even inside the States, it takes 7 days. Doesn't even make sense, right? I could wire Tracy some money right now. It would be there in a week. Or I can hop on a flight and be in Atlanta in 2 hours. Here you go, Tracy. There you go. So Ripple solves that problem with the banks, but it makes the banks overseas get rid of our currency. Now, Ripple currently has a contract with Western Union. They're using the Ripple network. Ripple currently has a contract with MoneyGram. They're using Ripple. Ripple just signed a contract with the Eastern Arab Europe. I don't know, is it I'm trying to figure out how to say it. The EAB, basically Dubai. They have contracts with Dubai banks. If you don't know, Dubai has a lot of money. So once they start moving trillions of dollars through the Ripple network, this number that you see is going to flip-flop. And it will no longer be about Bitcoin. It will be about Ripple. And at the top of the screen, you see it says BTC dominance, 39%. It'll start saying XRP dominance because there'll be trillions of dollars flowing through here. And in turn, it's going to make the US dollar tank. And at that point, you're going to need to have something that has value outside of the US dollar while you live in America. What could we put our money into that has value outside of the US dollar? Oh, that's our cryptocurrency. So if you own Bitcoin, you currently have value. So in turn, what's happening right now, we're trying to move the world in a more efficient way. And at this day and age, us being as advanced as we are with technology, I'm just going to say it out loud. We're still exchanging paper for everything. Think about how that sounds when you really say it out loud. I'm going to give you paper, you give me food. I'm going to give you paper, you give me gasoline. I'm going to give you paper, you cut my lights on. It just doesn't make sense at the end of the day. So we're going to have to move to a more efficient way of doing things, and having an inflationary currency where obviously anything with inflation tied to it is going to do nothing but lose value. Because when there's more of something, it's worth less. Every government works off of inflationary rates. It's not a very efficient way. So I want to educate everybody as much as possible on cryptocurrency and have everybody start to wake up to the evolution of money, because this isn't going to disappear. This is not going anywhere. The technology behind it is very beneficial. Now, I'm not going to harp on the beautiful, side of crypto and all of that stuff, because there's a scary side of crypto as well. The security side of things. We know anything that's on the internet can be hacked, period. Now, if you decide to get involved in the crypto space, security has to be a forefront thing in your mind, where this is where exchanges come into play. If I wanted to buy, let's say, Ripple, right? And I wanted to get Ripple, but I can't find out where to buy it. If you go to CoinMarketCap, you click Ripple, right here where it says markets, you'll click that tab. And right here, it shows every single exchange that currently has Ripple on it. Okay? You can go to any one of these exchanges, make an account, and purchase Ripple. So let's say if I wanted to go to Kraken, right, and make an account on Kraken. I would click Kraken right here, website, takes me right to the Kraken exchange. I'll make my account here. log right in, and I can trade and get Kraken, get Ripple from the Kraken exchange. Now, in order to do that, there's a situation that, because we're in a new era right now. Crypto is so new, it's not very easy to swap out your fiat currency for cryptocurrency. One of the main ways and easiest ways to do this is to go about it by getting a Coinbase account. You can download the Coinbase app. This app has been downloaded more. I'm not going to go into the whole login in process, but you can download the Coinbase app from the Apple Store, Google Store, whatever it may be. This app has been downloaded more than Facebook and YouTube in the last 6 months worldwide. Okay? If that doesn't say something to you, it's time to get involved. Okay? Coinbase app has been downloaded more than Facebook and YouTube. We all know that app even becomes standard most of the time on most phones. Okay? So you'll download the Coinbase app, you'll get started, and you can purchase your Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, whatever you want from that app using your fiat currency. You can attach your bank account to that app, and you can buy your currency. And at that point, you'll send your cryptocurrency from that app to whatever exchange you want to buy your altcoins from. Okay? Now, that's just part of it. Now, once you buy your altcoins and you're on one of these exchanges, this is where I want you guys to understand. I know I'm talking fast, but I want to make sure I get as much of this out as possible. You don't want to leave the coins you purchase on an exchange, okay? Even if it's just Coinbase, you don't want to do it. Coinbase has been having issues, not security issues, but just software issues, where sometimes people will purchase a coin and it'll buy more than they wanted. So things like that happen right now because this crypto space is so new. They're refunding people with no problems, but it's just the issues that they're having because everything is so new. So understand me when I tell you this. You want to keep your coins in a private wallet. When you buy your coins from an exchange or you get involved, you trade your coins from one coin to another, you want to make sure at all times you're keeping your coin safe on a private wallet. Well, Curtis, what is a private wallet? I'm glad you asked. So right here at the very bottom of my screen, you will see I have right here different wallets. I'm actually going to click this one right here. This wallet here is called Exodus. Now, Exodus is a wallet that stores multiple cryptocurrencies. I can have Bitcoin here. I can send and receive Bitcoin here. EOS is an Ethereum token. Let me move this back down here. It's an Ethereum token I can keep on my wallet. Ethereum, Funfair is another one. Litecoin, and this one also allows me to store my Ripple here as well. Okay. Now, this is just one type of wallet, and there's multiple others on this wallet as well that I can use. Like if you go down here to add more, I can add any one of these I wanted to my list of cryptocurrencies that I want to store within my wallet. Now, the beauty of this wallet is this. When you start this wallet, they give you a 12-word phrase. Okay? This is what keeps your coin safe. Nobody can access this wallet without your 12-word phrase. If you do, and I'm going to say this with the most clear voice possible. If you do not own the private keys wherever your coins are sitting, you technically do not own your coins. Period. Okay? If you go to an exchange, you set up your exchange account, you purchase your coins on the exchange, and they're still sitting on the exchange, you technically do not own those coins. Because if that exchange goes down, if that exchange gets hacked, guess what happens to your coins? You cannot access those coins any longer. Okay? So what I like to do is I'll purchase my coins from whatever exchange I see fit to use, or whatever exchange has the coins that I want, and then I will transfer them to my private wallet, which is this wallet here. And it's very simple. Each wallet has an address. So if I wanted to receive Ripple, right, I would go to receive. I would copy this phrase here or this address here. Simple. Hit this little button here to copy it. Close it out. And then I would go to whatever exchange. And like right here, it says you wanted to send. I would just paste right here. And then I put in the amount. I can't paste it here, obviously, because this is my wallet address. But same exact thing. If I was sending one to another, I would just paste it and send it. And it's really, really simple. Like I'll see if I can even try to do one here for you guys. Give you guys an example if I can, because I have two separate wallets here. This is another one of my Exodus wallets that I use for examples. So like right now, I have like 15 Bitcoin, $15 worth of Bitcoin sitting in here. And if I wanted to send Bitcoin from this wallet to the other wallet, there would be a fee of like 40 cents, right? So if I wanted to send like, let's say $2, right? I need to find an actual address to send it to, okay? I have to find somewhere to send that. So what I want to do is I want to send Bitcoin to an address. I'm going to go here to receive. Oh, have to go to Bitcoin, mind you, because I can't send Bitcoin to a Ripple address. Receive, copy here. All right, I currently have $13 in Bitcoin on this wallet. Go here, and I'm going to paste that there. And now I'm going to send, let's just say, I don't know, $5. Right? And I'm going to send. Right? Boom, bang, pow. It's sending my Bitcoin from one wallet to another wallet, right? And I currently have $13 in this wallet here. And I'm just going to basically wait for my Bitcoin to go through all the different transactions. And then eventually it will land in this wallet and I can keep it secure within this wallet. It's just that simple. That's how easy it is to send money to and fro. Now think about if I wanted to send $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, it's not going to take me 7 days. I don't have to sign any bank work, any paperwork from the bank. It's going to go directly to where I want it to go to. All right, guys. This is paramount when you start. Now, I showed you this wallet so that I could segue into another cryptocurrency. Okay, and after that, I'm going to wrap up. Now, right now, there are only two types of coins in the market. Okay, there are functional coins and there are transactional coins. Okay, a functional coin is something that actually allows you to do something on the blockchain network. It serves a purpose. It does something other than what a transactional coin does. A transactional coin, an example of a transactional coin would be something like Bitcoin. Bitcoin allows us to send funds to and fro. It allows us to use it as a store of value. If I wanted to use Bitcoin as an investment tool, I could do that as well. Okay, a transactional coin, that's what Bitcoin is. All it does is transactions, which is fine. Something like Ethereum is a functional coin. It actually has a job. It does a task. Okay. Now, people say, okay, well, how does Ethereum do a task? Ethereum allows new coins to come into the actual crypto space. Now, there's a difference between coins and tokens. A coin is a standalone entity. It is coded on its own, brought into existence on its own, and it has no father coin for it to come from or mother coin for it to come from. Example of it would be like Bitcoin. Bitcoin didn't come from another coin. It was coded, invented, created its own blockchain network, done, right? Ethereum, same thing. Coded, invented, has its own blockchain, done. Now, I'll give you guys an example of tokens. A token comes from another coin. So something like EOS, something like Tron, VeChain, Tether, as you see right here, the platform that it came from, Ethereum. Tether came from the Omni network, right? Omisgo, Ethereum. As you can see, almost every coin you see right now came from Ethereum. This is why you see Ethereum ranked number 2 in the world. Because when all these coins, the value of these coins starts to grow, guess what else grows? Ethereum. There you go. So now it's almost like betting on Microsoft in a sense. Like, would you bet on Microsoft or would you bet on, I'm trying to think of something else. Would you bet on like Asus? Obviously, Asus uses Microsoft technology. So obviously, it's a product of Microsoft. So as Asus grows, Microsoft grows. Same thing with Windows, or same thing with Apple. If you bet on iPhones, you're betting on Apple. If you bet on anything with the Apple, you bet on IBM in a sense. So everything is tied together through the mother company or the father source, father source, whatever you want to call it. Now, down here is one of the tokens I want to show you. It's called Gas. It's from the Neo network. Okay, keep this in your mind because this is where we're going right now. One gas is currently worth $42. Okay, one gas, $42. Neo network. And now I'm gonna get to the actual part of the lesson that I can't wait to share with you guys. Neo at the moment is ranked number 6 in the world. One Neo is worth $143. Okay, that is pretty good for this token. Now, Neo is a functional coin. Okay, it actually does something. Neo is like Ethereum. It allows new coins to come into the market. Here's the caveat with Neo. Neo is the Chinese version of Ethereum. And if you know anything about China, China loves tech, but they don't like United States technology. China has their own Facebook. China has their own Google. China has their own YouTube. China has their own everything. So Ethereum was created in America. They don't like Ethereum because the actual coding language you have to use with Ethereum is called Solidity. You have to learn a whole new language when you're coding a coin on Ethereum. With Neo, you can code a coin on Neo using JavaScript. You can code a coin on Neo using Python. You can code a coin on Neo using Ruby. You can use all the most basic and comfortable coding languages on the Neo network. And here's another caveat with Neo: it's already working with the Chinese government. So it's not going to be regulated. It's not going to be banned. It's not going to go through all kind of different ins and outs like all the other United States cryptocurrencies are doing right now. Now, here's another thing with Neo. I bought Neo from one of my exchanges called KuCoin, and I currently own 4 Neo at the moment. I store my Neo in this wallet here. This is the Neon wallet. Now, here's the thing with this. Neo incentivizes you to hold on to their coins. I know the screen got really bright, guys, so bear with me. So Neo incentivizes you to hold on to the coin by paying you a dividend of gas. Remember, I showed you guys gas, right? Gas, $42 per gas, right? Every 5 minutes, I get to claim gas in my wallet. This coin is paying me just to hold on to it. Yeah, that's how real it gets right now. Now, imagine if I had 100 Neo and I'm gaining so much more gas every day. And now I can take my gas, go back to an exchange, swap gas for Bitcoin, and now take my Bitcoin, send it back to Coinbase, send my Coinbase, and take my Bitcoin and send it back to my bank account as fiat money. Okay? This was a game changer coin for me. Okay? I saw this, I was like, wait a minute. You guys are going to pay me just to keep my coins in this wallet. Bruh. That's no-brainer information, okay? I'm going to say that one more time because Tracy just sat back down. This coin, Neo, pays me a dividend of gas. Mind you, one gas is worth $42. I currently have 2 gas at the moment. This coin pays me every 5 minutes a dividend of gas. So I can click this button right now, and they're going to give me a portion of gas just because I'm keeping this coin in my secure wallet that I personally own. I have the private keys to this wallet. Nobody can access it. This is my wallet. But because I'm keeping it here, I'm earning more cryptocurrency just because I'm holding on to their cryptocurrency Neo here. And I've bought other tokens that the Neo network has created, and I can store those here as well. Every token that the Neo net, like I showed you guys Ethereum, and it's made different coins inside of their network. Neo's doing the same thing in China, and I'm currently storing Deep Brain Chain coin here. I'm storing Red Pulse token here. I'm storing Quantum Link token here as well. And all that value was stored inside of this wallet. And like I said, as long as I hold on to Neo, every 5 minutes, they're paying me in gas. I've already accumulated to 2.4 gas, which is equal out to $102 just because I've been holding on to Neo. Okay, and I can hit this button right now. Boom, reclaim my gas, waiting for transaction to clear. And you see every 5 minutes, it's just load me up with gas, load me up with gas, load me up with gas. Not the bad kind of gas, but the good kind of gas. So I just wanted to share this with you guys because if I had this Neo and I kept it in my exchange, guess what's happening to my gas? They're keeping my gas. I'm not earning any gas because my currency is sitting in the actual exchange's possession. But the moment I moved it from the exchange to my personal wallet, I'm incentivized, and now they're giving me a dividend every 5 minutes of gas. Okay, guys? For me, I could not yell this from the mountaintop enough. And like I said, it's already working with and this is the Chinese version of Ethereum. They're already working with the Chinese government. They're already making tokens. They're all, and mind you, I didn't get a chance to show you guys yet either. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm gonna give you guys a screenshot of Neo's timeline, and I'm gonna make it real quick. I'm gonna close out. Neo, we came out of a horrible time in crypto in the last 2 months, right? The market's just been dropping consistently. I'm gonna give you guys a screenshot of where Neo was last year, the end of November. Okay, so we're 1, 2, 3, 4 months ago, right? Neo was worth $37 in November. Okay, one Neo, $37. Fast forward all the way to now, $147 for one Neo. Okay, and mind you, we've been in a down market. Everything in crypto has been dropping, and Neo has steadily been growing in the down market. Imagine what this coin is going to do when the market starts to really run. Okay, and people don't even know about Neo yet. Everybody's still kind of on the fence, like, I don't know. It's just a Chinese version of Ethereum. And I'm like, guys, China does not like using US tech. They want to have their own everything. Like I said, they got their own Facebook, their own Google, their own YouTube. It only makes sense for them to have their own version of Ethereum because this is the gateway for all the US tokens to be built. This is going to be the gateway for all the Chinese tokens to be built. Okay? And China, if you don't know, China has more money than us. China has more people than us. So if more people, more money, and they're very dedicated and loyal to Chinese products, this shows that this is going to have a large influx of capital, and it's steadily been growing in a down market. So I gave you guys a screenshot from 2017, November, and I'll snapshot. I think the last snapshot I would show you guys would be from, you can go into January, right? Into January to now to February. We were in a down market then. Is this a screenshot? Yep, January 28, oscillated up and down. We're right back where we were at the end of January, right now at the end of February, a little bit higher, right? And mind you, mostly everything in the market took a downtrend, right? So I want to make sure that you guys understand that we're headed towards a time in the market where around March, I believe, I'll even show you guys my snapshot of that, and then I'm done. That's pretty much all I want to show you guys with Neo, just the potential of Neo, being able to incentivize you guys to make sure you keep your coin secure. Every time you buy a coin, make sure it has a wallet that you can store it safely. And this is only a portion of how I want to show you guys to keep your coin safe, because there's another method called a nano ledger, or a ledger nano, I'm sorry, and a Trezor. These are hardware wallets, like small flash drive size wallets, and they're not attached to the internet. So what you'll do is you'll attach it to your laptop, move your coins from the actual exchange to your nano ledger, and then after that you'll detach it from your laptop and store it somewhere like a shoebox, a safe deposit box in the bank, wherever you want to keep it. And that way nobody can hack it. It's not connected to any network. Your coins are safe, and the value of that coin still fluctuates with the market. So just because it's not connected to the internet, it doesn't mean that you don't get your value. It's still going to move. It's still going to oscillate. All of that's still going to be there, but it's safe because nobody can access it until you decide to plug it back into the internet itself and move that coin around. Okay. So this was just one of the things I wanted to share with you guys. And the very last thing I want to show you is a screenshot of the market the last 4 years. I believe it's probably, I got so many files right now. Here we go. Right here. This shows what was happening in the market. 2005, January, we had a dip. Okay. 2016, January, we had a dip. 2017, January, we had a dip. 2018, January, guess what happened? A dip. Everybody spazzes out at the beginning of the year when it comes to crypto, but guess what happens after January? Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. So over and over and over. And guess what's happening now? Towards the end of February, going into March, we're going to see higher highs, higher lows, guys. So this is the time to start deciding if you want to get involved with crypto and catching it on the uptick, as opposed to when the market dips like it does around the end of the year, January, February, and then we have our recovery. So that is pretty much my spiel and introduction and information on crypto, guys. I hope I didn't overload you guys too much, but I hope I gave you like a good description and leading up to what I wanted to show you guys. All right. Any questions?
That was absolutely amazing. You know, I'm in here back and forth with Josiah, getting him in the bed, right? So I keep seeing me.
I saw you had the mama eyes. You rolled your eyes like, oh, I'm about to kill this little boy.
Oh my God, constantly, right? That was absolutely amazing. I mean, I'm listening to it, you know, as I'm going. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the recording to get the full blown of everything. But I mean, just conceptually, what you're saying for me, it makes total sense, right? I mean, the biggest thing is get it off the exchange, get it into your wallet, and be able to have some usability of it and be able to allow it to grow.
Definitely. And it's just keeping it safe, because you don't want to keep anything on these exchanges. Like right now, we're in an area where everything's just too new, and there's not a lot of, I hate to say regulation, but just not a lot of security strong enough to keep these things safe enough on their own on these exchanges, because anything on the internet can be hacked. I don't want to keep anything I personally on the website unless it's, you know, something I want to share. So if it's something I want to keep private and secure, I don't want it on a website. I want to have it somewhere in my possession where I can monitor it and make sure that nobody can access it without my permission.
I had, this is Tyree again. I have just two questions, and because I'm not clear on them, I hope you can answer. You had mentioned earlier about mining. So my question is, what is mining? What is the process of mining, or what is mining?
Okay.
How does it relate to Forex, and how does it relate to the crypto market?
Okay. Well, mining in itself has no actual correlation to the Forex side of things, but in the crypto world, the blockchain technology that's built is built off of a proof of work algorithm, where every time a transaction is done, the network itself, which is built based off a large array of computers. So let's say if Tracy has a mining rig, or she has a certain algorithm rig built up in her house, and it allows her to keep the Bitcoin network moving. She's a part of the network. I'm a part of the network. You're a part of the network. And now every time a transaction is done, we're helping the network move forward by actually confirming the transactions. We're rewarded with fractions of a Bitcoin. This is how Bitcoin come into existence. So they call that mining. So every time a transaction is done, and we're making sure that we're confirming the transactions, basically, AKA solving a block on the blockchain, it moves forward. Another block moves forward. And it's just confirming, okay, now I'm confirming, you're confirming my work, I'm confirming your work. Everything checks out. Boom. Transaction's done, completed, over. Next transaction comes in. And now we're just doing that over and over and over. And that's all it is. You're just having an actual computer that can solve the algorithms on the blockchain, and you're rewarded by basically decrypting the algorithm, confirming the transaction that the actual user and the sender's information are matching up. And then after it confirms it and we've done our job, the actual system rewards us fractions of a Bitcoin, fractions of a Bitcoin, fractions of a Bitcoin. And I mean, don't get me wrong, you can buy mining rigs, but this is the thing. In 2020, the actual amount of Bitcoin that you'll get for mining will be cut in half. So it's already been halved so many times. So the issue that's happening right now with a lot of people who've been mining since the beginning is it's not profitable, because one mining rig pulls about 1,600 watts alone. If you have a house and you've paid an electric bill, you know those watts add up real fast. So I know people right now who have like 8 or 9 mining rigs all working together in one rig. They're pulling somewhere close to like almost like 6,200 watts. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, dude, you're pulling almost like 7,000 watts on one thing. Like, dude, your electric bill is sky high. Like, wherever you live, they love you to pay that bill. So the issue comes into play is it still profitable, because the price is now cut in half? You're not receiving as much Bitcoin as it is that you're making. So your electric bill is going to cost you more. So your overhead prices are starting to, you know what I mean? So now people are getting more interested in cloud mining. Cloud mining is basically a method. Bless you, by the way, Tracy. Cloud mining is basically a way of allowing you to utilize large warehouses. So right now, like in Denmark and Sweden and Iceland and Greenland, where electricity is a lot cheaper and it's colder most of the year, they can just open the doors, let the cold air blow in and cool down the mining rigs, because those things put out a lot of heat, by the way. They can open the doors, cool off the mining rigs, and electricity is cheaper. So now they can just say, hey, Tyree, we know you don't want to spend all that money mining yourself. How about you pay us a small fee? And that way you can use our mining rigs, and then we'll pay you a portion of the mining pool that other people have already paid as well. So if Tracy pays, I pay, you pay, Mr. Sylvester decides to go in with us. And now all of us are in on this mining pool. We don't get a large amount of the money from the mining, but we get a small portion because we help them with their overhead prices for electricity, different little wear and tear that happens on the mining rigs, things of that nature, paying the actual people that are monitoring all the equipment. So you'll make money that way. It's like a little bit of it's like a soft way of mining, if you do cloud mining, and you have to find a company that's like reputable, because sometimes people are lying saying, oh, we have mining rigs and we have things set up, and then all of a sudden, you'll check out the company and then they don't have anything going for themselves. And right now at this time and space, it's just so many, like I said, everything's so new and fresh. It's hard to find good, reputable people that are doing it. One of the ones that I do know about is Genesis Mining. They've been doing it about 4 years and they haven't had any issues. So that's one of the only ones right now, but their contracts sell out in like minutes. When they have Bitcoin mining contracts or Ethereum mining contracts, and I strongly advise nobody get Ethereum mining contracts at the moment, because Ethereum is getting away from mining. They're moving from proof of work to proof of stake, where if you hold the coin, almost like a Neo is, if you hold the coin, they'll incentivize you that way. So they're slowly moving away from mining, but Bitcoin mining, Litecoin mining, Monero mining, things like that, that's what Genesis Mining offers. And if you can get on genesismining.com and you find a contract, feel free to give them a try, if you want to. But from what I've seen, they've been the most reputable mining, source, cloud mining source that a lot of people use. But it's just, like I said, their contracts go fast when they pop up. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist on mining.
Oh, I understand now. Thank you, Curtis, because I had been doing a little researching on it, but I could not really get a grip because the information wasn't as solid as you just gave.
Yeah, just basically, whenever you hear anybody talk about blockchain technology, just know that they're talking about being able to mine, because proof of work is how you mine coin. If you see anything that says POW, blockchain, they're just showing that, okay, this coin is mineable and that it's built by the people and it's for the people. Okay, this network, because it's decentralized. If all our computers go down and only two people are still on the Bitcoin network, that network still exists and it still works. And then they can just build that network back up again. It's like almost like a hive mind kind of thing. That's why this technology is so attractive to the rest of the world, because it's not dependent on a large corporation or a bank or a large entity like the banks are centralized. Amazon is centralized. Google is centralized. But if we have a network that's built for the people and by the people, they can't stipulate what we can and can't do within the network. As long as we abide by the network's terms and protocols, we're fine. And I feel like that's the way the world should be working right now, as opposed to putting all the power in one person's hand or one entity's hands and crossing our fingers that they're going to do what's right. It's time for us to be more accountable as people. I found in my studies in learning crypto and understanding different things that's happening inside of the blockchain technology, that the world is very short on reliable leadership. I found that leadership is in very short supply right now in the world. And for people who are, I guess, serious about being in the forefront of finance and being in the forefront of educating people, I think leadership should be the thing of just saying, hey, I may not have all the answers, but I'm willing to take a hit with you. And I think that's all most people want to know. Like even with Dr. Spiller is willing to get on a live call, make a trade, lose in front of hundreds of people, and say it's okay. There's not a lot of people willing to do that. And that's why I feel like leadership like that is in short supply. Some people say, all I do is lose and trade. I'm like, but that's a part of it. You got to see that. If you're not losing trades, you're not trying, period. I got people saying, man, Kurt, how did you get so good at understanding different things in the market? You just haven't lost enough. You get to a point where when you lose enough, you figure out either I'm doing something wrong or something is happening that I'm not paying attention to, period. And once you can do that, I'm the kind of person where I want everything to be my fault. Because if it's my fault, I know I can fix it. And I want to better my best. I want to continue to push and better what I think is good. Or like in Black Panther, when she took his EMP beads and he was like, it works fine. She's like, just because something works doesn't mean it can't be improved upon, brother. And I'm like, I feel like that every day when I'm trading. Like, thank you, Siri. Thank you. Let him know. Just because it worked on me and it can't get better. So I'm like a Black Panther. I've seen that movie 4 times already. I love that movie. So I always try to make sure that whatever we're doing, we're pushing and we're making sure that we can teach and educate, but yet at the same time, be relatable. Be somebody that people can sit down with and have a conversation with, and they don't have to feel intimidated just to sit down and say, hey, man, I'm confused and I just don't know. Because sometimes that's all you really want to tell somebody and have them just break it down. And a lot of people have a lot of pride. A lot of people don't want to look dumb in front of other people. And it's not about that anymore. It's like we as a community, we as one tribe need to just start being more understanding of other people and their different learning methods and their different mindsets that come into this, because we all have different stories and different journeys attached to us. And everybody needs to understand that some people just need a little more patience to get it. Some people just haven't had their aha moment yet. That's all it is. Like Les Brown said, you got people that have won and you got people that just haven't been taught how to win. That's all it comes down to. So yeah, that's pretty much. I see you, Tari. That's pretty much all I got right there, guys. I've given you guys my full spiel. I know if Ramoni is on here, I gotta get off of Sharon so she can take the pictures, because we probably got some people in here. We got 22 so far. Let me
Hey Kurt, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say you are truly a walking encyclopedia. I mean, I'm like just blown away right now. And so thankful, equally as thankful for the value that you always, I mean, you never hold anything back. And it's those little things. I mean, just nothing that you don't seem to know. So I'm glad that you have a heart to share and the way that you do, and on the level that you're doing it. I mean, the masses, being an educator in this awesome company. So many people are, benefiting from your wealth and your generosity. I'm just thankful for all of that. And the nuggets are just, I mean, it's just overflowing. And so,
I get in trouble for that. They're like, Kurt, you're doing too much too fast. You got to put this stuff in some chunks, man.
Look, it's recorded. So it's going to
Right.
be a constant replay. I'm thankful for Tracy, just leveraging and reaching out, stepping out. I want to say stepping out of her comfort zone, but I don't think she's uncomfortable with that. Step out and make things happen for the team. And I'm just so thankful to our coach, Tracy, and all the new members that's here tonight and that's a part of the Trading Summit. I'm excited for you, this type of value that you'll have privy to regularly. I mean, it doesn't stop here. As long as you stay connected and, just stay the course with your education, more to come. You certainly are a part of a winning team. Not to say other teams aren't, but this team here is a traditional foundation of winning because of the expertise and the knowledge and the willingness in our coach, Tracy. So I'm excited for you. I'm excited for me too, because I'm gonna get some Neo. I'm getting it quick. But thank you for both of you. Thank you so much.
Well, I will say this before you go buy your Neo. You don't want to buy any coin at all-time highs. You always want to catch something on a dip, okay? Like, I know you get excited and you want to get involved and it's game time. So you want to make sure you catch something on the dip before you buy, because I know people are like, oh man, I bought it and it started going down. I'm like, look, you gotta be patient. That coin isn't going anywhere. It's gonna have a good run, or I believe, in the next few months, because a lot of people are waking up to it. A lot of people are starting to understand that it's paying people a dividend of gas, and the Chinese economy is pouring a lot of money into it as well. And like I said, it was like $37, 4 months ago, and now this thing is already up to 140, almost 150. So definitely, I'm so excited for you as well. Though I see you over there going in with your notes and learning and applying. But I'm so thankful for you guys. Like that day at the conference when I met Tracy was so weird, because I seen Tracy on Facebook so many times before, and I was blown away, because I live in Detroit, and we were talking about her here. Like I had people, we would have our little IML meetings, and people were like, "Hey, you seen that Tracy Walker lady?" I was like, "Bro, the lady on Facebook, she like blowing through around." They was like, dude, like I don't know who she is, but she like went from 150 to 600 to 1,000. I'm like, dude, I was saying it to myself. I don't know who she is, but she killing it. And then when I was in the hallway and I seen her, I'm walking, I was like, it's you. Yeah. And she was over there talking to another gentleman, and then Ray was with her. And I'm like amped up, like I'm talking to a celebrity. Like, listen, I've been following you on a book. Like, listen, I would love to sit down and just work with you because I know you know what you're doing. I'm new to this. This is my first, marketing company ever. I've been trading, for a few months. I was like still kind of fresh back then, and it was like I still feel like when I'm talking to Tracy. When Tracy called me, oh snap, it's Tracy. What's up? Like, it's a celebrity calling. So it's like when I see her, I'm like, man, listen, Trace like big sister. Like when she's talking, I'm like, yes, right away. Okay, understood. Got you for sure.
We do the same thing.
Man, but I'm so thankful that I was able to meet her like that, because when I go to the conferences, I don't go for the, and this is just me, I don't go for the rah-rah stuff. I go for the actual, the environment and to meet people, because I know I met Austin Ghazi when I was in Atlanta the first time. Just having a conversation with him kind of put me in a different mindset, because that dude's work ethic is crazy. And when I met Tracy, I'm like, you got similar work ethic. Like, you blowing through ranks like they made out of like marshmallows. Like, what's up? So when she was showing me, some of the things she was doing, when she broke different things down for the team, and I'm like, she made everything just seem so easy and simple. So I guess like the excitement I get from her showing like the prospecting side and the recruiting side is almost similar how she gets some of the same effect from my training from teaching. So I get blown away sometimes, but I thank God a lot of times just for the information that Tracy shared and the relationship that I've built with you guys, with Tracy and everybody. And I've been prophesied over like recently, like a woman pulled me aside. She came to one of my early trainings. It kind of, I ain't gonna lie, it made me a little watery eyed. I'm tough, but I got a little watery eyed when she told me this. She pulled me to the side. Now I seen her a long time ago when I first started training, way back when I was teaching inside of a Tim Hortons. I started off teaching 3 people in a Tim Hortons coffee shop last year in February, and it went from 3 people to 60 people in like 2 months. And I didn't even have a team. I was just giving. I just wanted to teach people because I was so excited about everything. And I met this lady during that time around like March time, and she was telling me like, Curtis, I need to talk to you. We got to have a conversation. Things are changing. I need to talk to you. And I'm like, okay. I'm thinking with her, and she want to get involved by IML. I didn't see this lady for a full year. I ran into her at the end of last year, and she pulled me aside, and she got tears in her eyes. She's like, Curtis, I got to tell you everything God told me to tell you. And I was like, okay, what's up? And she was like, you're going to start traveling. You're going to be all over the country. You're going to be teaching people, and you're going to be doing it. And I'm like, oh, I'm already doing it. I'm doing it. I got all watery eyed and stuff. So,
ooh, yes.
My mind. And she was like, God told me this when I saw you way back at Tim Hortons, Kurt. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, I've been trying to find you for the longest, and you've been out of town, and I didn't know you was out of town. I'm like, yeah, I've been doing my thing. She was like, wow. Well, God did it already now, so how's everything going? I'm like, it's amazing. I'm loving life. I'm meeting people, helping people, and she said this. She said, God is gonna use your brain to download so much information. Like, and she said, it's not like a normal brain. Like, you're gonna assimilate information really fast, and you're gonna be able to give it out just like you got it, but in a way where they can understand it. And I'm like, who told you this stuff? And she was like, this is what God told me to tell you. And I'm like, why? And I mean, I'm blown away.
That's the truth.
I'm blown out. And I told her, I was like, it felt like that for a while, like in the beginning, because even with crypto, like they asked me to be an educator on the crypto side of things because they saw my Forex teachings. I didn't know any of this 2 months ago. And they asked me to teach on crypto side. Like, listen, you so good at Forex, you mind teaching on crypto? And I knew how to start a wallet up and how to buy the coins and things like that. I watch YouTube. So I started researching. I doubled down. I told people, like, if I research and I get excited about something, it's nothing I can't learn. Like, my brain, it's like it just sticks in there once it's in there. So I just started going crazy. I started researching everything. Like, even with Ethereum, every token that Ethereum makes is called an ERC20 token. ERC20 simply stands for Ethereum Request for Comment 20. And listen, I'm not making this up. They literally put the number 20 at the end of it to make it sound official. The guy who made Ethereum, Vitalik Buterin, said this in the interview. Like, we put the number 20 on there to make it sound official. I'm like, it's so new. Y'all just making it up. And Vitalik Buterin is like a kid. Like, he's like the Stephen Hawkins of crypto. Like, this dude made Ethereum, and he is like, I think he like maybe 21. And when you see him talk, like, he has this way, like, it's almost like watching a computer explain something. Like, he's talking, like, you watch him in an interview, he's like, yeah, so when I do this and this and this, his eyes are doing this the whole time he's talking. You're like, oh, you one of those special dudes that don't have social skills.
Yeah, it's like he's like Rain Man.
Man, but he's going though, and he's going through, like, we have the Casper protocol that's gonna come through, and we're gonna make sure everything that's going on in Ethereum. I'm like, this dude is on something different. But I like watching him because I can take what he's saying and break it down for us so it make more sense. But then when I found out, okay, about the ERC20 tokens that Ethereum makes, I'm thinking, okay, well, Neo's got to have something similar, and Neo makes these NEP5 tokens, and NEP5 stands for Neo Enhancement Proposal, meaning every token that comes on the Neo network has to do something that improves upon the Neo network. And they just put 5 at the end to make it sound official. And I was like, y'all just gonna quit making up numbers and having fun with stuff. But this is how they doing it in the crypto world. Everything is just so new. They having fun, just slapping names and making their stuff up. So anything that comes on Ethereum is an ERC20. Anything that comes on Neo is an NEP5 token. And mind you, like I said, I have problems remembering phone numbers, but when it comes to like Forex crypto stuff, I'm like Rain Man with this stuff. Like I can have a conversation with this for like hours nonstop. ICOs, I can tell you how ICOs are working right now. They have like new protocols with those, the initial coin offerings. It's almost like like when a new company comes out on the stock market, they have the IPO, the initial price offering or initial company offering. With the IPOs, with ICOs, with initial coin offerings, they have it where it's a coin that comes out like, I don't know, let me see if I can show you guys. They have them up here. Like they always put these ICO things up here with. They have like pre-coin sales where they allow you to get in early before the coin hits an actual exchange and other people can trade it. So you get in early at like a fraction of a penny. And then if it goes from like a fraction of a penny all the way to like $10, you've made like $100,000 basically, with $100 or $200 investment. So it's certain things inside of the networks that worked in the beginning. But now that the market's so flooded and it's so convoluted with people who are greedy and just people who are marketing experts, and they spend billions of dollars on marketing. Well, not billions. Let's say they spend $50,000 on marketing, right? They go hard on just putting Facebook ads together, internet ads together, and now this coin looks like the best thing since sliced bread. And you start getting involved with the ICO, and then the ICO finally hits an exchange, and all of a sudden, all the money just comes out of the coin. And you're like, how did that just happen? Because the creators of the coin did what? They own 50% of it. So now they snatched all that value away, and now everybody else is doing what? Oh, let me get my money out too. And now all of the money starts to flood out the coin. They call it a pump and dump, like with stocks. It's been the same thing that's been happening with ICOs. That's why the United States government is saying we have to regulate this. Because if we don't, this will run rampant. And it's crazy because the U.S. government, they want cryptocurrency to actually like thrive. They want to see it grow. I think they want to get away from the Fed because they're slaves of the Fed like we are. The government doesn't run the Fed runs the government. So they kind of like, listen, we can't out and out say we want this to win, but we don't want it to go nowhere neither. So they over here playing roles like, we going to make sure we do everything we can to regulate it and make it beneficial for the everyday person. But along the way, please educate yourself, people. Don't blind. Like they have like educators they're hiring for libraries now. So they can actually teach people about cryptocurrency. Like the government is really trying to get ahead of this because the Russian government, they're educating their kids right now as a part of the curriculum on coding for crypto, for blockchain. Like Putin's made it an actual part of the curriculum in Russia. He's teaching the kids how to code blockchain technology now. And I'm like, he already know what's up. He ain't even playing. So I think that everybody's seeing what's going on and they like, this is our key to get away from the Fed. This is the first real chance we got. Let's take it and run. So I'm thinking what's coming up right now is going to be beneficial. So with ICOs, I'm always tell people kind of like stand back with that, be patient. Like, right now, Ethereum's coming out with a protocol that's going to actually try to regulate, like self-regulate ICOs. The first new one they got coming out is one ICO called The Abyss. It's a gaming ICO that allows the actual game coders to make money and the game users to make money. And it has like a multi-level structure to it as well, where if you tell somebody about it and they start playing a game and then it grows and then they tell somebody and it grows, you make money too. They incentivize you in Abyss coin because the network's growing that way. So, and it's regulated where it has different stipulations where if the actual creators of the coin don't abide by certain laws and protocols, they'll shut down the ICO and refund everybody their money. So that's the first one that they're doing right now with the Ethereum network. The coin is called The Abyss. The ICO doesn't start until March 7th or something like that. So I'm looking into it. I'm making involved with it as well. But it's just a few things I'm kind of like, I'm trying to see if it's going to be worthwhile with the way they're doing it. But yeah, it's exciting because it's new, but it's just one of those things where like I don't want to see people who are uneducated or just don't have enough information yet go all in and then get hurt and then have a bad, you get that bad taste in your mouth, and it's hard to kind of come back and, with fresh eyes and a fresh mind and really go hard in the space. Because some people come in like with Forex. They'll come into Forex with, I'm going to jump in, bump that demo. I'm going live tonight. I'm already verified. And then they go in and they take a few swipe trades and like, man, no, none of this stuff work. It's all rigged. Y'all got me to sign up. But then it's like, dude, listen, you didn't do this nowhere near the structure of how this is supposed to be done. You demo, you learn, you get involved. That's like coming into the Atlanta Hawks practice saying, I'm starting tonight. Tell my boy on the side with the little gold part in his head, get on the bench. I'm starting. You ain't did nothing. You ain't went through practice. You ain't went through the drills. You don't know nothing about the film study. You don't know the game plan. You don't know the plays. But you go in and you get crossed over. Shumpert come in, or let's say Russell Westbrook come in, put up 40 on you. You're like, man, this basketball stuff rigged. It's all scripted. Y'all had me set up from the no. You didn't follow structure. You gotta learn first. The only difference between wealthy and poor people is information and the ability to apply the information. If you don't gather enough information, you can't come in and make an informed decision. So if you brand new and you trying to go live day one, boy, if you don't sit down and have some orange juice and relax, Coke and a smile, I tell people all the time, like, I get you excited, but you're gonna have to like temper that down a little bit. You gotta settle down. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. Settle down now. So definitely all the time, guys, don't make any rash decisions or any financial decisions without having enough information to say, if I do this, will it benefit me or will it hurt me? And you have to take the excitement out of it. My bad, bro. I see you down there with the wiping the eyes, man. I ain't mean to get you that bad. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys got any more questions, anything else, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over to Tracy. Like I said, if y'all let me talk, it'll be we an hour away. It'll be 12 o'clock in the morning. We'll be on here.
Well, actually, I am going to turn it over to Dion because he's actually the host for this evening.
Okay.
So I will, just in closing, I will say, Curtis, I love you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for taking time out of your evening, of your rest, to share the value with our group and to contribute to our virtual trading summit. Our goal is to really inspire and encourage and provide, higher level information to our members, but in a really simplistic, elementary way so that they understand it and can use it. And you have done absolutely that. Like, there's literally nothing that I can say or do to pull apart anything, right? I'm so grateful for that. So thank you, brother, for jumping out, spending some time with us this evening. And Dion, I'll turn it over to you, bro.
I don't even know how to. I'm the DJ, and I always got something to say. I'm just at a total bro. That analogy, that was the best analogy that any of us could use when a person asks us when they first get started with IML with us.
That's real quick, Kurt, can you stop sharing so we can see you in full Brady Bunch square?
All right. Yeah, that I mean, everybody doesn't play basketball, but that's a beautiful analogy. I mean, when you talking about any professional sport, you want to play tennis. Well, you want to step out there with Venus or Serena and see how she serves against you. Are you ready to do that, or do you think you need to study the art first? That's a perfect analogy. And like you said, you see everybody on social media, all of us out there on our Facebook lives and Instagram lives, and people come back with those questions. Well, how much money are you making? And we always say the same thing. I'm just getting started. I'm just learning this thing. And it's up to you to be able to learn the skill yourself. You have to learn the skill for yourself. What you said, two months, for what you learned in 2 months, what you were able to share with us from what you learned in 2 months is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I took a wealth of notes. I think I have 1, 2, 3. I got 4 pages of notes.
I'm glad I can help.
From just this one session. The value, guys, that you got tonight, you can't even put a price tag on it. You really can't. And you got it. Okay, this is what I'm going to say in closing before I let y'all go, because it is almost the top of the hour. Imagine if you won the contest, guys, because, Kurt, I don't know if you know, but we got a contest. And whoever grows their demo account by the biggest percent, we got prizes for them. Guys, can you
I'm on that.
Can you imagine, guys, having a one-on-one hour, not in the whole group setting? Because, you know, sometimes in a group setting, people don't want to, they have some questions. They might think that they're silly questions or whatever, but we know that no question is a dumb question. We say that, but that does not mean that a person will, you know, willingly ask that question in a crowded environment. But one-on-one, imagine, guys, if you won this contest and you got to sit down with KoBane for an hour and pick his brain, and no question was stupid because it's only between just you and him, and you sat down for an hour, what would that do for your business?
Mind you guys, I actually charge $100 an hour for my private sessions too, and I get booked every Saturday. Every Saturday, I get booked.
$1. He charged $1, a big dollar. When I say $1, because $100 don't mean
shirt. You see the shirt, $100.
$100 to sit down with him for an hour.
And everything, it's official.
And you guys, part of the Dream Team, have an opportunity to not only, and Kurt, because we're putting whoever wins, we're putting $100 in there to their account for trading.
Oh, y'all see my one post on Facebook? I took that $100 account to $2,000 on that my personal draw. I was telling people, like, it ain't hard. You just got to be patient.
My exact point. So the Dream Team is going to reward you for doing what you said you wanted. You wanted to win. You wanted to be a part of an organization that was going to help you not give up on your dreams, but help you reach your dreams. Now you got this vehicle in front of you that teaches you how to multiply your money. And then once you win the contest, the Dream Team is going to give you the money to fund your account, sit you down with a master trader to help you multiply that. Do you guys feel the power of that? That makes, I mean,
that with a stick, man. That's a little contest right there, boy. You get the money and then they show you how to multiply the money. Like, bruh.
What other team is doing that?
Dream Team. There you go.
It's the Dream Team. So, I mean, with that, guys, tomorrow we got a review day. So write down any questions you got. Go through your notes. We're going to sit down tomorrow. You can sit down with everybody on the Leadership Council, pick the brains. Everybody in the Leadership Council, I tell you, it's not the greatest trader. I'm not the greatest trader in the world. I'm just learning. True, I was happy to take my 60 cents and turn it into $9.60. I was super excited.
Profit.
Absolutely. And that's what it's about. I mean, you know, from the small gains to the medium gains to the large gains. But if you don't get in the game and apply, you got to learn. Learn from your demo account. Shoot, I blew a demo account. How you do that?
Honestly, I'm telling you right now, if you guys are brand new, you need to start a demo account and try your best to blow it. That's my goal to you. Try your best. Get in there and really just go crazy with it. Because people, they play this whole, oh my God, it's the demo. I don't want to, like, have fun with it first. Like, experience that feeling of, like, taking a crazy lot size and seeing it go bad. And then say, okay, now let me take this serious. And then once you start understanding what it feels like to blow an account, and then you see what it feels like to actually grow an account, you get that well-rounded experience, because you can't do this with just saying, all I want to do is win. I lose trades consistently. I'm here to tell you right now, I have consistent trades where I lose, but my gains are much larger than my losses because I know how to manage my risk. I understand that losing is a part of me finding out, because guess what happens when I lose? I have more data to work with now. Okay, I lost this. What did I not see? Oh, duh, engulfing in the past. Okay, level. Okay, that's a stronger level. Okay, get back in here. Okay, boom, profit. Got all of that back. Boom, next trade. Okay, oh, lost again. What happened? The same structure. So then the last one. Boom, 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 boom. You have to have those losses to actually understand what's happening. Sometimes, because you can't win without taking a risk. So if you know that this is a profitable area or a potential profitable area, you got to roll the dice a few times to say, I'm going to take this trade and see what happens. If I gain my profits, great. If not, I know what to do next. Period. From that point on.
That's great wisdom. Everybody make sure you get your journals. People in the contest, the top 3 people, you're going to win a Dream Team journal as well. So you'll be able to take your notes on what he said, when you win it and when you lose it. Go ahead, Kurt.
When can I get my Dream Team jacket, Tracy? I feel like I've put in the work. When do I get my when I went down to Houston, I'm like, who let this gang up in here? They got all these red jackets. They look all gay. What's my man's name? The short, not short dude, the young guy. He got the dreads too. Marcus. He was in there looking like me. So I'm like, hey, listen, I didn't mean to tell you this, but I signed out a little contract. I'm the only guy with dreads. So you gotta figure stuff out. But listen,
you know what? We might have to, Ramonia. We may need to think of some sort of something to identify like esteemed honorary Dream Team members. Like maybe not a jacket, but something that is, you know, dignified and indicative of Dream Team Alliance.
I'm gonna give you a bracelet, like, don't lose it. Her face didn't even flinch when I said jacket. She like, you ain't with the team. Ramonia don't be playing at all. She straight
No
games. Like, now one smile was cracked. Like, where my jacket? Ramonia was like,
no games.
You ain't getting no jacket, Jack. I miss my sister, man. I'm glad she's here.
That's a good idea. We gotta talk about that, Kirk. Cause we gotta have something. We gotta have something because it's only like one person would get it at this point.
Well, no, Spiller be helping out. Spiller be in there. Like, he in there. He helps out a lot.
Spiller help out. He does. He's my brother. He look out for us, but he don't look out for us like you look out for us.
Oh, you know I gotta take care of family, man.
It's
like
love. We have nothing but love for all of our IML.
100% real with y'all. Like, if it wasn't for the lessons that I put in with y'all and all the recordings that you guys had of me, I wouldn't be on IML TV right now. Because when I started, they needed a track record of my work. You know me, I just want to help. So I wasn't trying to record anything. I want to make sure that you guys was getting it. So all the recordings that you guys actually did have and, you know, share with me, I let some of the higher ups check it out. And they were floored like, Curtis, you should have been showed us this. We could have had you on months ago if we knew you knew all of this. And I was like, I was so busy building my team and helping. I really wasn't concerned with it. But so if it wasn't for you guys actually giving me the opportunity, I wouldn't even be on Crypto TV right now. So don't think for 1 second I forget where I came from or I don't have no love for the family right now. Because I know where my love lies.
That's what's up.
Oh, we love you, Curtis. I'm gonna speak to Ramonia, even if she made that face, and we're gonna figure out something.
I love Ramonia.
We gotta have something for you in Vegas. I don't know what. We gotta.
Moni don't play no games.
All right, Dan, back to you.
All right. Okay, guys, we finna shut it down. We got late into the hour. Like I said, tomorrow we're going to be reviewing. Guys, give some applause, give some much love. You know, put some comments down there. I know you said thank you, but just show them some mad love down there in the comment section before you get out here. We appreciate you, Brother Curtis. Like I say, tomorrow we'll be here at 8 o'clock. We got our review. We'll be reviewing everything that you guys went over from day one up until now. So you got any questions that you got to ask, overviewing the education, fundamental analysis, the technical analysis we went over today, and anything that you got about trading. So any questions that you have, we want to make sure that you got a full understanding because we got a great surprise after you get all your Q&A taken care of. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys. On that note, I want to give a good night, good evening, and love to everybody. I appreciate you hanging out and staying out here with us. Hope you got a wealth of knowledge, and we will see you guys on mañana.